Uh, Greetings there, party people. Welcome to the show. I am DM Chuck. No, DM Chuck. I should say my name right. Of Defenders of Cobalt. And tonight, our good buddy Bert here. Yeah, I jucked it up. Bert, he's going to be running some Dark Trails, uh, which they're Kickstarter funded. I'm super excited. Um, I don't know. Words and stuff, man. Anything you guys want to say?
I'm getting some audio coming through from something.
Wasn't me. I was going to say, I was going to let Bert go first since he's the man of the hour.
That is true.
All right, guys. Sorry, I had a little audio glitch here. Can you hear me all right?
Yep, sound great to me.
All right. Well, I'm Bert, BizLab on most of the intertube things. I am the primary GM and host of the podcast of Steam, Steel, and Murder. And we'll let other people have introductions here before we'll kick off our game of Dark Trails tonight. Anyone else want to plug out?
Hey everyone,
podcast.
I'm Steven the DM, and I make a lot of videos about D&D on YouTube. And this is my first time playing Dungeon Crawl Classics, so I'm super excited.
And I'm One Great Wonder on most of the internets. I do streaming of D&D and a couple of different RPGs, as well as I have a YouTube channel where I talk about RPGs and other nerdiness. And this is my first time in a while getting to play with the Notorious DMG gang, and also my first time playing Dungeon Crawl Classics at all. So much excite.
Very good. And we're going to be joined by another person in a bit. He's running a little bit behind, but we're going to go ahead and get started here. So this is Dark Trails, again, Kickstarter that just ended last month, funded very well. And this is the quick start rules that are still in development. And you may ask, why the heck do I have these quick start rules when all the people that put in all kinds of great money for the project do not? Well, I am helping edit this massive tome, this beast of a role-playing game. We are trying to make a quick starter for that will come in at something of less than a huge tome, but still give you a good idea of what it's about. So tonight we are going to go through from character creation, have us a little adventure, and then talk about the system afterwards. So guys, you ready to cowboy it up?
I was born ready.
Partner.
All right. So we're going to start with character creation. If you guys would, here in Roll20, I've got a really rudimentary character sheet, but you do have an attributes tab showing you what all of the attributes for your characters are. And we're doing this old school style. You're going to roll 3d6, whatever you get in order. You're going to fill them in for strength, agility, stamina, personality, intelligence, and luck. So why don't you guys go ahead and do that now? I've got a button on the screen for 3d6 you can mash. Once you guys
down the line.
I'm sorry?
I was just saying, straight down the line.
Straight down the line.
We roll from strength all the way to luck, right?
Strength to luck, right.
I was trying to let everyone roll so that mine didn't like jump in the middle of there.
Yeah, it is kind of hard to keep track of things when people's rolls are all mixed in there. While you guys are rolling, I'm also going to say that Dark Trails is based on the Dungeon Crawl Classics role-playing game by Goodman. A little different in the way that many people have seen the other genre books to DCC games before. Dark Trails is actually allowed to include the entirety of the rule set. So it is a one-stop shop. You won't need to have the core book to play this. And one of the things we're trying to streamline with the playtest is to make sure that that is true, that I'm not having to go to the core book for anything. So I may stop here and there to make notes to myself as we go.
Are we allowed to swap any of these attributes?
No.
Or
old school, right. Man, right down.
I'm fine with that.
Go.
Not much of a gunslinger, but I'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got stam and personality, but I ain't smart. I ain't fast.
I got
Alright.
no luck, personality, or intelligence, but I'm strong. I can throw my gun a mile.
That's one of the nice things. There are no minimum attribute values that you need to be any particular class. So, you can be genetically the worst ungifted person in the world to put a gun in your hand, but hey, you can still be a gunslinger.
Woohoo!
Has everybody got their stats?
Yes, sir.
Let's start with Steven then. Plus, we just lost someone. Did we just lose
We
somebody?
gained someone, Dustin.
What's up?
Dustin's here.
Hey! You are just in time for rolling stats, man.
Where do I need to be?
Before you do that, though, you should introduce yourself to the listeners.
Oh, we have listeners, do we? All
Yeah,
right.
we're
Well-
already live.
Well, I am Dustin. You'll find me at TT2KB, where I do a podcast every Monday, The Wisdom Check, and on Saturdays we play a 5e game called Everstorm. So that's me. I'm here, and I don't even know what I'm playing yet.
A luchador, right?
You are playing a luchador tonight. You're taking Matt's seat.
Okay, so
The only thing we've done so far is roll 3d6, take them in order for your attributes of strength, agility, stamina, personality, intelligence, and luck. And Dustin, did you get the link to the Roll20 tabletop?
no, that's actually what I was looking for.
Sure, somebody can shoot that to him. And when you jump in there, if you want to grab one of the empty character sheets, there'll be a tab with the stats on it. In the meantime, while that's going on, Steven, you are playing a gunslinger tonight.
Is this
Hell
Dark
yeah.
Trails? Is that what I'm looking at?
Yep,
the
that's
one.
right.
So, Steven, we're going to
Put me through the mill.
And the first thing we're going to do is get all your stat bonuses down, okay?
All right.
All right, so what is your strength score?
16.
That's good. That's going to give you a +2 modifier. Just write that down somewhere for yourself. And for agility,
12.
all right, that's a flat 0. No positive, no negative. And stamina,
Ouch. 10.
same thing with that. Personality.
5.
Oh, wow. You're just not much of a talker. That's going to be a -2 right there.
You saying something about me?
Not a thing. Not a thing. You're a charming man.
Intelligence 9.
9. Well, that's also dead even. No bonus
And
or
then
negative.
6 luck.
That's going to come back to bite you. This is going to be an interesting one. So you have a -1 luck modifier. And since you have a modifier of any kind, we're now going to roll on the birth augur table. This gives you a little bonus, and in your case, a negative that's going to influence you for the rest of your career.
Yeah, as short as it will be. What am I rolling on?
I've got a chart here, and what I'd like you to do is hit that D30 button. Yes, Dungeon
1.
Classics makes use of all the Zoki dice, so we've got D7s and D3s and D14s, etc. A 1.
I'm off to a good start. Or not.
Oh, wow, yes, you are. That is bad.
Oh no.
About the worst thing you can roll on this.
Am I blind?
No, you're going to have a -1 modifier for the rest of your career, however short that may be, to all attack rolls.
Oh.
Just talk your way out of it.
Yeah, that's fine. Use that great personality score.
This is going to be a fabulous mix. All right, the next thing we're going to do is figure out your hit dice. So in Dungeon Crawl Classics, there's something called a 0-level funnel, which we're not doing tonight. I am needing to play test some rules, so we really need to get to those rules, which kind of start at first level. But at 0 level, every character rolls a d4 for hit dice. So go ahead and roll that 1d4. Wow, you're off to a great start tonight. A gunslinger gets D10s for their hit points. So now roll a D10 and add that 1. So 8 hit points.
Okay. At least I didn't get another one.
All right. So the next thing you need to know is that your crit die, and just jot this down somewhere, is a D10. So when you make a critical attempt at something and you do really well, the D10 die is what you're going to be rolling. The inverse of that is your fumble die. and that's a D12. And again, just mark that somewhere. Your crit die is a D10, your fumble die is a D12.
Done.
And this is where you're kind of going to also get screwed for your luck. Each class has a particular way that luck benefits, or in your case, really doesn't do great things for them. So a gunslinger, their luck modifies your initiative rolls. So you're going to be taking that big -1 penalty to your initiatives as well.
I never said I was a good gunslinger.
Well, that's the thing about gunslingers. Let's talk a little bit about this class. I'm just going to read the blurb that David Beatty, the writer of this wonderful game, I'm going to read his words here for Gunslinger. The spirit world is filled with all sorts of poor souls that have no idea of how they ended up wandering the flip side, but there exist a few that want nothing more than to find their way back to finish the blazing trail of justice they left before an untimely demise. The spirits of vengeance anchor themselves to weapons they once used in life, possessing the irons they used to exact justice. These ghost irons, as they're often called, carefully select a person strong at heart and with fast hands to continue serving up justice in the dark frontier. These ghost irons take a sharpshooter's aim and lift it to supernatural levels, allowing for shots that border on the impossible. So somehow you stumbled upon these ghost guns that somehow think that you, my friend, are a reasonable person to carry them.
They're the unluckiest ghost guns around.
Well, you got to wonder what your competition was if you were the best. So your starting wealth, in this case, this is how much money you just happen to have in your pocket at the starting of the adventure. Roll a D12, and that's how many dollars you have.
Hey.
Very good. Now let's talk about the abilities of a gunslinger. The gunslinger have what's called an action die. You roll this die along with your attack roll, okay? And it's an additive roll. In your case, it's going to be a D3. For all first level characters, if you have an extra die of the character classes that are chosen tonight, it's going to be a D3. So if you look on the screen, you're going to have a button that says D20 and D3.
Got it.
Right? So when you make attack rolls or some other rolls, that's the button you'll push. Now that D3, whatever it rolls, will get added onto the attack and damage of the roll that is done with it. Okay? So you get a little bonus. The other thing that you have is you're able to make trick shots. This can be things like, shooting the hangman's noose so that your friend drops without being hung, making bank shots around corners, that sort of thing. So if you want to do that kind of trick shot, your extra die there, the D3, if it comes up a 3, it happens. It works. Now you still get the same bonus as well, but that's the additional thing that happens. Okay. So if you want to make some crazy shot, that's your trick shot skill.
Got it.
And David calls this the Deadeye die. The other thing you can do is if you're using a single action handgun, is something called fanning the hammer. That's basically where you hold the trigger down and you just slap.
Oh, I know what it is.
Yeah, exactly. So you can get a lot of lead in the air pretty fast. There's a cumulative penalty for each bullet that comes out, but it is something that gunslingers are able to do.
And will be happening.
And to finish this off, first level characters get to select 2 signature weapons. In your case, your ghost gun doesn't have to be a pistol. I mean, you could say it's a rifle if you wanted to.
No, it's got to be a pistol.
Yeah. So one of your signature weapons are going to be a handgun or a pistol, and choose another weapon. Doesn't have to be a ranged, but it can be.
The other one is not my ghost gun, though, right?
Correct.
Well, then it's going to be a rifle.
Okay. Pistols and rifles. So what this means is you're not at any particular penalty when using those guns, those types of weapons, I should say. But if you pick up any other weapon and try to use it, you are at a penalty to do so.
All right.
All right. And there is your character, your gunslinger. You got a name for him yet?
Cool Hand Clyde Norton.
I see. Just like you have in the Roll20 there. Just great. Great, Cool Hand. Let's see how this works for you. 1 crit. You are playing a Revelator tonight.
Yep.
All right, let's go down your abilities here real quick. What is your strength?
8.
8. Okay, that's a -1 modifier. And your agility.
6.
Ooh, -1 as well. You guys did not be hot on the dice tonight. Stamina.
15.
Hey, that's pretty good. +1. And personality.
12.
Okay, dead even. And intelligence.
5.
Ooh, -2. You guys are just a happening bunch with intelligence and luck.
Another 9.
Okay, dead even there. And since there's no modifier, good or bad, we don't roll on the birth augur table for you because it really won't give you a bonus or a penalty. All right, hit points. Roll that D4 for me.
3.
That's pretty good. A revelator gets D8 in hit points. So roll a D8 and add it to that 3.
Also 3.
That's 6 points. Okay, write down that your crit die is a D6 and your fumble die is a D12. If you had a luck modifier, it would modify your willpower saves. Yours is flat even, so nothing going there. Roll a D8 for me. You start with $1 in your pocket, which makes sense. I guess you're not a great sermonizer. That plate doesn't get passed around too much for you.
I mean, if I was a little more smarter.
Maybe so. Let me read out the blurb for the revelator here. Most of your days are spent in a peaceful existence, tending to the spiritual needs of your flock. That is, until the events of the 7 days of night set loose dark things into this world, and a visitor from heaven itself came to you with a different sort of calling. This angel, for no better word, makes it clear that the time of peace you'd gotten all cozy with are gone, as men with the blackest of hearts have unleashed unspeakable evil into this world, and are intent on bringing about the end of mankind by way of unleashing ancient gods trapped in dimensional exile. It was then that he baptized you in fires of divinity. The flames enveloped you, licking at your soul, leaving you burning with a different kind of fire that will help you march faithfully into the darkness of night, providing you with the divine power to manifest miracles. Hallelujah, brother.
Hell yeah.
All right. So the two big things that a revelator can do is, one, heal people. It's harder depending on your, we'll call it alignment for now. It's something different in the system. And I guess we should have talked about that on the first character as well. In Dark Trails, instead of there being law, neutral, and chaos, as in Dungeon Crawl Classics, what it is, it's a continuum. If you imagine a middle point, and then you've got a line going off to the left and a line going off to the right. Most people are in the middle. You know, neither good nor bad. You're kind of out for yourself. You'll do good deeds. You're just as likely to do something not so good. It's called, so you're just kind of neutraled out there, walking the path. As you do good things, as you do bad things, you tend to sway one side to the other. Okay. Both of the characters to start with so far, you're starting walking the line, it's called. So like right in the middle, you're neutral, if you want to call it that. So as a revelator, it becomes harder to heal people depending on how much different they are than you on that line. So like if they're too far in one direction as compared to you, it's a little bit more difficult to heal. Healing itself is not a spell. So like you're not limited to a number of times you can do it per day. You can do it as much as you want. The thing to remember though, is that if you roll a 1, like a natural 1, you incur disfavor. God is not happy with you for some reason known to him, and bad things can happen to you. But healing is something that you can hit that button all day long, as you understand the chances of rolling a 1 is always there. The other thing you can do is cast spells, miracles, they're called in this case. Okay, you get your full complement of level 1. There's a certain number that you get to choose for the day, and you kind of like in some versions in Dungeons and Dragons, when you decide which spells from a certain list you want per day, you get to do that as well. Okay. And we will get to that when it comes to it. Go ahead.
I was going to say, with healing, like what is that check? How do I say, oh, I'm healing? What do I do?
Yeah, here's the bad thing for you. It's a D20 plus your level plus any personality modifiers that you have. So your personality wasn't horrible, was it?
It's a 0.
Yeah, okay.
Awesome. I have jotted it down on my board of remembering.
Most rolls in this game are going to be made with a D20 check plus minus a modifier. All right, so that's our Revelator. There's 2 signature weapons you get to pick as well. Revelators generally do firearms, bladed weapons, clubs, etc. So pick 2 kinds of weapons that you can use pretty well.
I would want some kind of bludgeoning type weapon and a firearm.
Sure. So call it club, and what kind of firearm? A pistol, a rifle, a shotgun?
Club and a rifle.
Okay, club and rifle.
Actually, no, I'll be the preacher with a shotgun. I'll be that guy.
Shotgun preacher. There we go. Shotgun and club. All right, we're going to go on. Dustin, did you get your rolls done?
If that's what you want to call those, yeah.
Hey, you're going to be par for the course. This is going to be a great group of people.
Strength 5, agility 12, stamina 10, personality 13, intelligence 8, and luck 3. So I've decided that my guy's one of those like fake wrestlers who doesn't actually wrestle. He's just all personality and talk. And then,
You had a really bad mentor. Let's get your modifier scores again. So what did you say strength was?
Strength is 5.
All right, so -2 and agility.
Where do I put that at? Is that in the slash?
Oh, just write it down somewhere if you want. If you're looking
okay.
at the roll 20. Well, on roll 20, you can just grab one of the free characters, and under the stats column, I actually do have the stats. You can just put them in there if you want.
I just put my modifiers over in the max column
I picked the thing. Yeah, I was going to say, is that the max column? Is that where I put it? Okay, because I already put the stats in the current. I was just looking for the...
Yeah, just think of it as a digital notepad. I haven't had a chance to make a character sheet for this yet, although I probably will.
So -2 for the strength, 12 for the agility.
Agility of 12 gets you a net 0, so nothing bad there. How about stamina?
10.
10, same thing. Personality?
13.
Hey, that's pretty good. +1 there. Intelligence?
That's an 8.
Okay, -1. And how about your luck?
3.
Oh, 3. That's a -3 modifier, and we need to roll on the birth auger table for you here. If you can roll
What the heck is a birth auger table?
It's basically at the time of your birth, the celestial signs came together in such a way that it will give you a bonus, or in your case, a negative to most things that revolve around it. So roll me a D30.
Is D30 an option anywhere?
Yeah, if you've got your macros clicked on in the D20, you should see across the bottom of your screen all the dice.
Let's see if I can turn that on somewhere.
On the collections tab, which is like the 3 bars on the upper right there, they're all there, and you can just click to add them into your bar.
Okay.
It's much faster than...
You said D30?
A D30.
Chuck, am I going to get in trouble if I link stuff in the Twitch chat?
A 7.
That is a question that we'll both find out together.
I don't think either of us has got a bot in there.
Fox's Guile, your modifier is going to come into effect when you're trying to detect and disarm traps. So don't be doing that, because you got a -3 penalty whenever you try doing those things.
All right.
You stick next to me and we'll be dead before we know it.
I'm just the really annoying little sidekick luchador wrestler that like hangs out with the bigger wrestler who's actually good. Like, I'm not even the headliner. I'm just the... I don't know. There's a name for it.
In the vernacular, you're a jobber.
Yeah, the jobber. So what do I do for hit points, AC, that sort of stuff?
Getting to it. Let me get to my page here. All right. First of all, roll a D4. That's for your 0 level. 2, and roll a D10. Okay, 7 hit points. Now, mark down somewhere that your crit die is a D10. That's a die you'll roll when rolling on critical charts. And your fumble die is a D12. Oh my gosh. The next thing is how luck modifies your class. Boy, you guys are wonderful. Just wonderful guys. Your luck as a luchador modifies all your reflex saves. So you're kind
Light
of a
her
slow
up.
luchador, I think.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not even a good one.
Roll a D8 for me. All right, you have $3 in your pants, so you made a little money off the last show you did. And let me read out the blurb for the luchador. You're a true warrior cut from a different cloth, a cloth that's stretchy and breathable. Guns are tools for the coward. Let real warriors step into the ring of life with nothing but hardened, well-oiled bodies and stalwart souls eager for challenge. You're one of these honorable warriors, and whether you're a direct descendant of Mexico or trained by a wandering luchador in the ways of the ring, you currently wander the West in search of fame and fortune in all things evil. Each day is spent honing reflexes and pushing your body to its physical limits. High-flying acrobatics, new wrestling techniques, and mastering the paths of a noble spirit takes up most of your day when you're not out on the trail hunting evil. Wrestling is considered a divine gift, and where a priest channels his inner faith through the good book, the luchador uses the mask to channel abilities most consider supernatural. Each unique mask identifies the luchador amongst his brothers and fans and is treasured above all else. So as a luchador, here are the things that you get. You have the lucha die. It is a D3 that gets added on to your D20 rolls when you're trying to attack, and a few other things. Instead of getting a signature weapon, the luchador's whole body is a weapon. It does a D6 damage if you're kicking, punching, headbutting, etc. Actually trying to use another weapon, you have a penalty to do so. So that extra D3, not only does it help your attack, it also helps your damage. It gets included into both.
Okay.
So one of the things that you can do with your lucha die is if you want to try some high flying or spectacular move, or you want to do something like hamstring your opponent or blind them as a maneuver, you declare it before you roll. And if your lucha die comes up a 3, it happens along with any other effects of the attack.
Is that on the D3? Or
is that on it's on the D3 that gets added.
It's on the
to
D3 that it adds. If it's a 3, then it happens. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, correct.
Not on the 20 that you roll, but on the 3.
On the 3, right. Okay. And so the other thing that happens is you have fame. Every time you enter a new town or a new place where there's several people around, there's a chance that your notoriety may have followed before you, and you can look for free liquor, invitations to food, and people that are well-wishers and fans.
Excellent. I have fame.
Okay, and DM Chuck.
What up?
Mountebank.
Yeah.
All right, let me get back to my charts here again. And what is your strength?
My strength is a 9.
All right, I believe that's dead even. I haven't reached my chart yet.
Yes, it is.
All right, and your agility?
That's an 8.
-1. And stamina?
10.
0 as well. And personality?
This is the one I'm proud of right here. It's a 14.
Oh, +1. That will help you a lot. Intelligence?
That is an 8.
That is an 8. -1. And your luck?
11.
Okay, no modifier there, so no reason to roll on the birth augur table. Roll me a D4.
Okay. 3.
All right, let me get to my Mont back here. Okay, D6. No. Sorry. Yeah, D6. I rolled a D6. So 5 hit points. Your crit die is a D6. Your fumble die is a D12. If you had a luck modifier, it would apply to your showmanship rolls, which is a skill you have. Roll a d12.
You got it.
You
That's
have
a 6.
$6 in your pocket. Not bad.
All right.
All right. 2 signature weapons.
I want a man. I think I need a pistol or something, right? But not a big fancy pistol. Just
You have a small holdout pistol, like a Derringer or something like that.
yeah, that sounds great. Let me get a Derringer.
All right.
And then my other one, I want like a stiletto or a small dagger of some
Sure.
form.
Knife or a dagger, no problem.
Yeah.
I forgot to say on the luchador, but you start also walking the path dead neutral, and so does the mountebank. Same thing, starts dead 0. So your abilities, showmanship, which is a catch-all term for basically. Here, let me just read it out. A man of many words, the mountebank uses fancy verbiage combined with fast hands to deceive and misdirect the audience during the pitch in hopes of encouraging them to empty their wallets. The mountebank is considered skilled in various things related to performing a typical stage show, which could include sleight of hand, pickpocketing, or fast talking.
That's fantastic.
Yep. The other thing you do is, you're an alchemist. I'm going to read your blurb now, right?
All right.
You were constantly on the move before the 7 days of night, hustling from town to town, making a living out of convincing folks you had the cure for whatever ails them. Truth be known, most of your remedies did little to nothing for folks in their pains, which is why you made a habit of not overstaying your welcome in whatever rail town you were visiting. When the odd chain of events started during the 7 days of night, you soon discovered you have the ability to add a supernatural catalyst to your remedies, giving them amazing properties that resemble the magical potions found in fairy tales. You spend your free time experimenting with new recipes, both mundane and magical, to aid you and your allies out on the trail. There may come a day when you're ready to reveal your genius to the scientific community, but for now, you prefer the role of the mountebank, continuing to ply your silver-tongued salesmanship to the masses, peddling placebos and sugar pills while you keep the good stuff for those true moments of need, or for folks with plenty of coin in their pockets. So there are 2 things that you can do. As an alchemist, you can make some basic formulas like adhesives, acids, bombs, and poultices, which actually can heal. The other thing you do is you have some magical recipes that you can create and that can do some pretty spectacular things.
That sounds fantastic.
All right, and when we get to using those in the game, we'll go ahead and have you pick and do some things for that. It involves a card deck in one case here. All right, the one last thing that we need to do for everybody that I did not do, Dungeon Crawl Classics doesn't have much of a skill system, but it does have this. It's based on what your occupation was before you essentially became a traveling goon for hire or murder hobo. And if you're trying to do something that would fit under what that occupation may do for a living, you get to roll a d20 and as normal and add any kind of modifier from your attributes. If it doesn't fall within your skills, you roll a lower die. Okay, so let's find out what your occupations were first. So Stephen, if you would please roll a d100 for me.
Even Steven.
Stephen the gunslinger was a pickpocket in a former life.
I can weave that into my backstory. That's good.
All right. 1 crit. Give me a d100 roll there. $65. You were a nurse.
Yeah.
Makes sense for a revelator. Might have been how you got your calling. Okay, Dustin.
Yeah. 100.
D100. 55. You were a snake oil salesman. Imagine
Sweet.
that.
We got something in common we could talk about.
It could be how you knew each other. All right, DM Chuck.
Okay, D100.
Watch
Oh my
him be a
gosh.
luchador.
Where's the D100?
It's
Slash
the
R.
percentile. I defined it.
Oh, yeah, I see it there. 32.
You did duty as a midwife.
Okay.
All right, nice. So we spent the last 40 minutes or so making characters, but there we go. So on to the game. Here's how we're going to start here. You guys have been traveling together for a bit now. Each of you has had this man come into your life that has either saved your life or has made a very positive change in, well, the rest of your continued existence. His name is Isaac Bell. And Dustin, I'm sorry, this is going to be kind of slapped on you, so I'm going to kind of choose you last. The other guys had a little bit of heads up warning. So okay. Mr. Cool Hand Clyde Norton, what was the event that brought you into hunting down cultists and destroying evil, and how did Mr. Isaac Bell come into this?
Well, you see, I'm still a young kid, somewhere between hay and grass. And just about a year ago, my family was moving out west. And we hired this guide who ended up being a little less than straight with us. And he took us through the New Mexico desert, and it was hot as could be. And he led us into an ambush, where a couple cultists were hoping to sacrifice us. And I'll spare you the details of what happened to my family, but I was the only one who made it out alive. I've been scrounging my way around ever since.
All right, that sounds good. And Whitman Jack.
Whitman Jack was working as a nurse, as we all know, and hospitals aren't exactly a huge thing, but a small clinic, and he kind of noticed that people would go missing. People would check in and have these ailments, and then kind of after a couple of days, one or two of them would go missing. And so he started looking into this a little bit, and that's when he kind of figured out that people were basically stealing the bodies. And upon this investigation, he followed these folks, and he got himself cornered somewhere, and that's when Isaac Bell came in and saved him from the trouble he had found himself in.
Sounds good. How about Doc Avies? How do you pronounce that?
Avies.
All right.
Avies. I didn't know how to spell it, but I knew how to pronounce it, so I just took a stab. So this Isaac Bell fella, the way I came into contact with him, I was out doing one of my pitches, or shows as some might call them, and a young lady and her husband came up, and she was having all sorts of difficulty in her pregnancy and wanted something to help out. Myself, being a trained midwife, decided, you know what? I'll earn some favor in this town, maybe linger a little bit longer, sell a few more products. And that was some wild stuff with that lady. Like the car scene in Men in Black, where just tentacles and hell spawn. And I thought I was going to get strangled by a little demon baby. And that Isaac Bell fella, he swooped in and punted that baby across the street, and all was good.
Nice. And Dustin, do you have a name for your character?
His wrestling name is La Chupacabra.
Chupacabra. All right. How did Isaac Bell influence you into this?
Well, back when I was selling snake oil, I had come upon a traveling band of wrestlers doing shows. Not the real wrestlers, the fake ones. They needed a guy to take a fall, so, they pulled me in, gave me the mask. But because I was all lathered up in my snake oils, it turns out they couldn't actually pin me, and I ended up winning. So then I became famous. Then they paraded me around until, of course, the whole thing fell through. So now I'm here believing that I've been picked up by another band of wrestlers, and this is all a show and none of it's actually real. And I'll learn very soon that that's not true.
Nice. All right, guys. So yesterday, you received a telegram, and somehow Mr. Bell is in dire need. He is in Reston, Virginia, where he is awaiting the circuit judge, and he's due to be hanged. The sheriff was kind enough to pass this telegram along to anyone that might be able to help. And Mr. Isaac is in dire need, and you all have set off to Reston, Virginia to see what can be done. Isaac has set you guys up with a private car, so you have your own train car that's been attached to a train heading out to Reston, and that's where we find each of you now. Let's have a little description here going on. What exactly do our characters, our heroes here look like? Mr. Cool Hand.
I'm pretty scruffy. Like I said, I'm only 17, got a mop of dirty blonde hair, and I got just a few whiskers coming out of my chin. I can't grow a full beard yet.
All right, so you're sitting in this boxcar. You guys have used this car before. It's got some hidden panels in it where you can quickly hide some firearms or goods that you don't want the local police to see. It's been the home away from home that you've often used when hotel room was just a bit out of your budget. Mr. Whitman Jack, what do you look like?
Whitman Jack's got the full, like, duster look going on, club tucked into his belt, walks with a bit of a limp, carries a shotgun, and he's got the full-on, like, gray chops because he's probably about, we'll call it 37, 38 years old, carrying a few scars, and, like I said, kind of walks with just a bit of a limp.
And Doc Avies.
Doc Avies, as portrayed by John Goodman in Oh Brother Where Art Thou, if that helps out here.
God.
Man of large
Cyclops.
stature. No, I do have both of my eyes, but I do have my little spectacles that clip right onto the bridge of my nose. Large,
You're not a
tall
Klansman,
man.
are you?
No, definitely not a Klansman. Let's get that right out. But yeah, miraculously white suit, which my suitcase full of tinctures and ointments and other wonderful products that can be yours for a low price help me keep it pristinely white. Abnormally, absurdly, wonderfully large and well-groomed mustache. Large, booming, used car salesman. That's the right way those words work. Kind of voice.
You been drinking tonight, Chuck?
No.
Of course not. Why would he do that?
His vernacular is just a little fucktacular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, that's it. I got my suitcase. Got my Derringer in my jacket pocket.
All right, well, we've got to ask, Mr. El Chupacabra, what does your mask look like?
I believe he said La Chupacabra.
Oh, La
Yes.
Chupacabra. Yeah, we can't get you confused by the much more famous luchador, El Chupacabra.
Yeah, so my mask is all gold and black, and it's about all I really wear. I got the tight wrestling pants on, that match because you have to look good like that. I got one of those jackets that I don't keep on for very long. It's go time when I take my little jacket with all like the tassels off. That's when it's go time.
Very nice.
Got your name across the back of it and everything?
Yeah, probably.
All right, guys. So you have attached your private car to the fastest train heading out to Reston. The telegram made it seem like time was of the essence, and you find yourself pulling through a countryside where old farmsteads are passing you by to the left and right as you're looking out. It is winter. Snowfall has already begun, but the tracks are clear. You find yourself pulling into a rail station that looks new. There are new houses, new, very nice looking houses in the center of the town. This is in comparison to the generation old farmhouses and dwellings you were seeing on the outskirts of the town as you pull in. So the train depot here, a lot of people milling around. Porters come out almost immediately to start unloading baggages. You can see an open air but covered top area where sandwiches and foods wrapped in paper are being sold to the hungry train guests as they're coming out and making accommodations. Your private car is being unhooked and taken to a private lot. So, you know very little of the way of details. You just know that Isaac's in trouble. He's due to be hanged anytime. May have already happened. You're just not sure.
Can we ask some of the folks mulling about the train station here where they do their hanging?
Sure. You approach a man who is helping to put your private car in its own berth. One of the rail handyman, he wipes the grease off his hand, looks up at you and says, well, we've got a jail cell here in the center of town. They erect a platform whenever it's needed. They've been building one for the last few days. Takes his hat off, mops the sweat off his brow, and points a little further into the town. There's been a mob forming out there for the last 2 or 3 days. I'd be careful treading through there. It's, much of the older families. This town is it's kind of a boom town, mister. Old families live here for a long time, then suddenly a railroad comes through. Yeah, these rails have only been here for about a year now. And, well, as wants to happen, we got some industry growing up around here. We got a new hotel. We got one of them fancy houses in town now, and kind of crowding out the old families that used to live here. You're going to notice a lot of construction, new houses, new nice houses for folks that are a bit more well-to-do. But whatever's drawing that crowd's attention over there, they're most of the original families, a lot of the farmers and a lot of the ranchers in the area. I tried to stay away from that area of town. Don't have much call for the law, except when people make trouble. You ain't about to make trouble, are you, mister?
Well, I hadn't particularly planned on it. Is it just the railroad that's bringing folks here to town, or is there something else? You know, gold rush or work? What's the draw?
Rusty's a big supply station for trains to go through here. We service more than one rail line, and we're stop off for coal and water. There's been a bunch of mining, silver mining, in the hills around here, but the draw is, well, we're a supply depot. You know, a lot of people come through here. Trains got to stay, got to get refueled, got to get coal, got to get water. Those people got to get food, got to get some lodgings and entertainment, right? I figure this town will keep growing for a while yet.
Well, we certainly appreciate your assistance here. And Whitman kind of motions as to the cart that the guy is putting away, and says, "And for all the information that you've given us, perhaps we'll see you around, and we'll see how our luck goes with this mob that's forming, because it looks like we're gonna have some business over that way, indeed."
Well, here, take this, mister. Key to the lock. We're gonna lock your private car in this berth here, but you can have access to it anytime.
Sure.
Iron key. Has our luchador stepped out of the private car yet?
I assume I have not yet made my entrance.
All right. Now let me know when you do.
So he gets up to the edge of the car, stands there with his hands on his waist, looking around at all the fine people who've come to watch him perform.
Roll me a D percentage. We're shooting for 30% or less. Okay, you cut a fine image of a physical specimen in the doorway of your private car. A few people look up at you and look away. Looks like your fame hasn't followed you to this town yet. You console yourself in it's a small town, growing but small.
That just means you get to work on making a reputation here, sir.
That's right. So I step down and find the first person that I can find.
It's the same guy that's helping put your car away. He's just about ready to turn away.
So where's my room? I gotta go get ready for the show, you know.
Well, mister, the hotel's across the street there. Didn't realize the circus was in town. He's looking at your mask.
This ain't a circus, man. I'm a performer.
You calling him a clown?
Now. He just kind of waves his hands in front of him. Not looking for trouble. I mean, circuses have performances too. Sharpshooters and whatnot. Just thought you were one of those.
I'm gonna puff my chest up a little bit. He's a regular curly wolf. You better watch yourself.
He just shakes his head and just, waves his hands in a placating manner. No problem. I hope your show goes well, mister. Hope your show goes well. Backs off.
I just staring him down as he walks away.
Yeah, I'm staring too.
He walks faster.
Great. So is this gonna be one of those like tag match things, man, where we like tag in? What's the game plan, man?
This ain't no game.
You want to take him high, I'll take him low.
I'm gonna walk away from him too.
He may have taken too many falls to the head over his career. All right, guys, you're at a rail station. People are off-boarding, onboarding. The train is getting fueled up with some water. They're taking on some baggage. You are free. Your private car has been locked away. One of you has got the key to the padlock.
I'm gonna relate a bit about the crowd and the old family's uneasiness with the boomtown once everyone's out of the cart, and then I will take the iron key and just kind of tuck it in a belt pouch.
Well, I reckon we should see if we can find Isaac.
Does seem to be rather a matter of import. Time is of the essence.
Maybe we can talk with him a little bit.
Well, as you make your way through the town, you can definitely see that in the center of the town, around this railhead, the buildings are practically new. I mean, you could still smell the sawdust in the air. Well painted, well appointed. You're seeing a really nice general store. You're seeing what the man called a fancy house. Some of you would know them as houses of ill repute.
My kind of establishment right there, boys.
Barbershops, a couple of saloons, and you do see what the man was pointing out a little further into town as the buildings get to be a bit older, a bit more run down. You see a clay facaded jail cell, and there are a bunch of they look like laborers, like farmers, people that work hard for a living, are all milling around the outside. Some of them are sporting shotguns. There are a couple of deputies standing out front of the jail cell trying to keep everybody calm and collected.
While we're walking, you guys might have noticed that Clyde had his jaw drop a bit while we passed the whorehouses, but he pretended not to look too interested.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no shame in liking what you like, boy.
I'm just going to get flushed and keep walking.
Some pretty inmates, they call them, looking out of windows, waving to passersby on the train.
So this crowd of farmers and other laborers is kind of milling about. As we approach, can we pick up any kind of conversation? Are people talking, or does everyone seem to just be kind of playing the waiting game? Are they yelling at the deputy?
They look very angry. Many of them are occasionally will just start chanting, hang him now. We don't need no judge.
It's certainly not a good look, yo.
The two lawmen that are standing in front of the wooden door of this clay bricked jailhouse look very uneasy. They're gripping their rifles tight. The mob, again, is very angry. A few of them are armed, but not the majority. They're all men. Some children here.
Ballpark number, like 10, 20?
20 to 30.
Okay. 20 to 30, two deputies. And how big would you say the building is?
Small, single story, may have 2 or 3 rooms in it. Very small.
Got it.
Are people armed in this town?
Yeah, you can see people walking around with rifles. A few people have handguns to their hip. Rifles seem to be more prevalent than anything.
All right, then I got my rifle and my pistol as well, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm going to try and work my way through the crowd up to one of the deputies. Not quite going up on the porch, but letting him know I'm talking to him. I'm here to see Isaac. Need to talk to him.
All right. They look you up and down. They seem to consider for a moment. You're obviously not part of the crowd. One of them opens the door while the other one cocks his rifle, expecting a rush to the door. He lets you slide in. Anyone else going in?
Yep, I'm right behind him.
Yep, Whitman will go in.
I'll tip my hat as we go.
How
What kind of
the
hat
La
do you
Chupacabra?
have?
He might be AFK.
Oh, yep, I see it. I will let's assume he goes in as well.
Yeah,
All right,
we
so,
don't want to leave him alone out there. All greased up and in the middle of a crowd.
So the sheriff is a slightly older man. He's probably in his late 40s. Hair's going gray. Still seems to be in pretty good shape, though. He's got 2 handguns at his side, and he is got a box of ammunition for a shotgun that he's got laying on his desk. And he keeps looking out the window occasionally to see how things are going. As the door opens, you see his hands go to his waist, to his guns. Seeing as one of the deputies waves you fellas in, he relaxes just a little bit.
Can we see Isaac from there?
Yes. There are 3 cells. They're just up against the wall. Iron bars covering him. Isaac is flipping cards into a bowler hat that's laying up. His iconic mutton chops have seen better days. They're not the dappered, oiled, wonderful whiskers that he normally goes into public with. It looks like he hasn't bathed or gotten a chance to straighten himself up in days.
I want to walk straight past the sheriff towards Isaac. Not even looking at the sheriff. And go up to Isaac. All right, we're here. Reckon you should be telling us why.
Yeah, I reckon I should. Wish I knew more than I did. Pull up a stool. He looks around. It's like, I guess you can't. Hey, Sheriff, these are the men I sent for. You mind if I have a conversation?
He don't mind. And I pat my
Sheriff picks
pistol.
up his shotgun, and he doesn't really respond to your posturing much. He tips his hat to Isaac, though, and says, reckon I don't do anything stupid, though, boys. We got to hold them. Hope you understand. Sheriff opens the door, and you can hear the crowds actually get louder with the sounds of "Hang him now!" So you are alone in the jail with Isaac. Isaac stands up, dumps the cards out of his bowler hat, cleans off the edges, walks to the jail cell, and just opens the door.
Well, ain't that a thing?
Yeah, shakes all of your hands. It's good to see you boys again. It's been a while. I hope you all have recovered from the trauma of the last meeting we had. Dinner werewolves, was it? Nasty business.
So, I mean, I don't want to be too forward, but what exactly have you got yourself into here, Isaac?
Well, the townsfolk seem to think I killed a family, and I can understand it, seeing as they came upon me with my hands wrist deep in the bowels of apparently their schoolmarm.
I could see how one might think that would look bad.
Came here following
Might
a
seem like
trail
an odd stick.
Came here following a trail of some cultists. My information led me to this town, family called the Watsons, and one of the older families here. Just outside of town, they got a 2-story ranch. Got here late. Thought I'd stop by and just take a lay of the land. And when I got there, I noticed doors had been broken in. Their cattle had been let loose, and Well, the woman was laying dead out in the porch. Had her innards, let's just say removed. Something had been eaten at her. Started to explore the house. The rest of the family was gone, but there was certainly a sign of struggle. Lots of blood. Bits of flesh, bits of, limbs. I had the unfortunate circumstance of a neighbor running across me as I was trying to puzzle out what kind of creature could have done this, and he caught me as I was checking out the wounds on their school teacher. They took me physically, knocked me unconscious, woke up in a jail cell with a lynch mob out there. Sheriff's an old friend. He was able to get the telegrams off to you folks, but he's doing all he can to forestall the mob. They want me hung now. Sheriff told him the town's got a reputation. It's growing. It's becoming a spot of interest, and we have to do things legal like. So he got a circuit court judge, or at least it's what he told them. He had gotten a hold of a circuit court judge to get down here, do it proper like before they strung me up. Glad you arrived before the judge did.
Well, I mean, we did have the benefit of that private train car. Much obliged on that front. It would have been a hell of a ride on horseback.
I'm glad you're making use of it.
I don't much see what angle we got to work with here, though. There is a mob calling for your head outside, and even with the sheriff being your friend, what's it that we can do? I don't really see how we can clear your name.
That's just it.
Yeah.
Clear my name. Find out what did this. Bring back some proof. The sheriff did actually call a judge, and if I remember right, Judge Hieronymus is the circuit court judge of this area. He's in the know of things. He'll listen to evidence. I need you boys to collect it for me. While the judge here is awfully polite and allowing me some freedom within the jail cell, I'm here mostly to protect me from that mob. They're mad, and rightly so, if they believe I'm the killer of their school teacher.
So
I'm a bit at sea here. How exactly can we find evidence?
I mean,
find out what did it. Certainly you can do that. We've done it enough times together.
Head back out to the Watson's place and try to look for more clues, I guess, or hope we get lucky or unlucky and whatever it was strikes again.
That'd be my start. As I said, I came out this way because I caught wind of a group of local cultists trying to enact another ritual. You remember what happened last time? We lost the sun for 7 days. Let's not have something like that happen again.
How much time you got before they hit you up?
Don't know. Judge was called a few days ago. Usually takes him a good week or two to get here, depending on how long his lordship decides to make the trip. Could be today, could be tomorrow, could be next week. I don't know what to tell you, boys. I would prefer to get out of here with my neck unstretched, but if it comes to it, if you can't clear me, at least catch those cultists.
Well,
All right,
hopefully,
well, by hook or crook, we'll get you out of this calaboose.
what the young
It
ones
may
say.
come to that. It may.
Well, boys, shall we head out to the Watsons?
I'm game.
Yeah, man, let's go. Let's get the show on the road.
All right. As you make this decision, Isaac goes back to his jail cell and closes the door. There is a ruckus outside, more so than normal. Sheriff and both deputies come in, and they start moving furniture over the door. Sheriff looks back to you guys and says, "Look, they're coming in. We're going to try and hold them off without killing anybody. And if you're Isaac's friends and you're here to do something about this, out back, there's a set of stairs go down to a root cellar. It'll take you a few paces away from the jail cell. You can go out that way."
Well, fair enough. Let's get to the Watsons then, without drawing any undue attention to ourselves.
Sounds like a plan, boys.
Right. Find the stairs down, root cellar. Takes you a few paces away before you find the cellar door going out. It's far enough from the main jail cell that none of the locals really thought it was connected. So you come out past anyone that's part of the crowd, although there are some other town folks looking around that see you exit. You hear the sounds of several men basically throwing themselves against the wooden door at the front of the jail cell. You hear the chants now. Ain't no lawyer going to get him free. We're going to hang him. You hear? Hang him.
Don't think they're messing around in this town. I believe
I'm
we
gonna-
must be.
Do you want to take the one on the left, Whitman, or you want the one on the right?
Well,
The 10 on the left, and you get the 10 on the right.
why don't we hold off on the violence for a second? Maybe I've got something here in my suitcase that might help disperse that crowd.
What kind of dispersion we talking here?
You got some dynamite, man?
Well, not quite that dispersed. I was thinking maybe look and see if I might have something that would put an awful stench in the air and dissuade them from standing so close to the jail.
Nice. Let's go ahead and interface with this then. This doesn't sound like a magical elixir, but maybe more of a common one. Let me see what fits the bill here.
It's a good old-fashioned
old-
stink bomb.
I was gonna say cowboy riot grenade.
Hey,
You
well, we're
might
gonna
be
call it a
dissuading
bomb.
people from being in the jail as well.
Ooh, well,
We'll call it a bomb, and we'll have the damage actually, instead of affecting their hit points, it'll affect in a tribute to see if it's noxious and causes them to go away, okay?
okay.
So here's how we're going to do this. You do two things with these recipes. You guys are going to see some card decks on the right side of the screen there.
Yep.
Actually, hit the shuffle button first, if you would.
There's a shuffle button.
Oh, you don't see one? You
I
may
think
not.
it's cut off. Like the bottom card's kind of cut off. I can't see the bottom of that.
That's fine. Let me just shuffle them myself here.
Okay.
There's a scroll bar on the
Oh, I
right
see
hand
it.
side.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, none of them say shuffle though.
All right, pull a card.
Just one of us, or
Just one, right?
Just you. Yep, just one card.
All right. I pulled a card. It's sitting at the bottom of my screen and says number 1. You want me to click
Okay.
on it to reveal it?
Yeah, go ahead and reveal it.
All right. I got the King of Diamonds right there.
Apparently, I can steal cards.
Ooh,
All right, that's
aren't you
pretty good.
fancy?
So a king, let's see, with a bomb would do D10 damage in a 10-foot area. Pass a reflex save, or they catch fire, suffering an additional D6. So here's what we're going to do. Go ahead and roll a D. Well, tell me exactly what you're going to do with this. How are you going to lob it? Where are you going to drop it? What are you trying to do here?
I just want to... Man, that's a great question. Well, we move out of the back of the building. I would move around to the side. And then maybe over the heads of the crowd, see if I can just toss it at the front door of the jail. See if I can break it off of that and then make my escape in the After Effects.
All right, sounds good. Go ahead and roll a D10 for me there.
Ooh, I got an 8. I can take that.
All right. So yeah, it smells awful. It's like month-old eggs gone bad. Just a sulfurous, noxious smell. You're catching just the very faint edges of it. You can imagine how bad it is in the center. And yeah, I'm going to say that's more than enough to disperse the crowd. And it happens just as you're starting to hear the splintering of that wooden door. So good job, Doc Avies.
Be pulling my bandana up over my face.
Yeah,
Rather be smelling my own sweat.
you're catching just the very edges of it, and it's still pretty bad. You hear from the inside of the jail cell, you seem to have caught the sheriff and his deputies a little bit more, and there's some gagging going on. Pretty sure you hear the sounds of one of them vomit. And of course, that makes the rest of them do the same.
Of course. Well, better puking your guts out than getting strung up by an angry mob. We should
True that.
make our escape, boys. This situation kind of stinks.
How are we getting to the Watsons? We don't have horses.
Better yet, where's the Watsons? We don't know where they live.
This also is true.
Are there any stragglers leaving the cloud of smoke?
Oh, plenty. I mean, they're going in all directions.
All right, I want to grab a guy that doesn't look too tough as he's running. Grab him by his coat.
Okay. He's coughing and gagging. He said, "Oh, let me go, mister. I need some water." Oh, all over your wingtips.
Normally, I'd kill someone for that, but it's your lucky day. We need a guide. Where are the Watsons?
Watson. I'll tell you what. This guy is not in his right head here, as he's just set off balance from all of these fumes. But let me go ahead and have you do a personality check to see how persuasive you are. So D20
That's
plus
a
your
D20?
personality modifier. Yeah, D20 plus.
That's
your
a
personality.
-2.
You're right. So yeah, he just waves you off and just pulls himself away from you, unless you're just going to continue to hold on to him. But he's choking and gagging. He's trying to find some water. He's not interested in what you have to say.
I want to pistol whip him.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I got strength.
Okay.
We'll call that a surprise check, and yeah, go ahead and tell you what. Since you've already got a hold of him as described, there, I'll just go ahead and do some damage. We'll call it just a blunt weapon. Just do me like a D4. That gets his attention.
That's all I wanted.
Crack him upside the face. He's
Latricaba is standing
manages-
behind him, shaking his head. Yes, like that's right, brother. Yeah, and he starts pointing at the guy like, "You're lucky he's in front of me. I'm next."
The
Now you're
people
gonna
around-
hobble your lip because I didn't say I care what you want to do. I said you're gonna show us where the Watsons are.
All right. Yeah. Your firmness and your steel here have persuaded them, and he starts pointing in a direction. He starts kind of pulling you along in that direction. If you're still holding on.
If he starts moving in the direction, I'll let go of him. But I'm gonna keep my pistol drawn.
Okay. Yeah. He doesn't.
Not
try to-
pointed at him, just like down at my side.
Okay. Sure. He starts heading off west out through town towards where more of the older style buildings are. He does take a moment to stop at a horse trough, and he just dunks his head in the water, shakes it around, just gulps down a bunch of water to clear out his mouth, and he keeps walking down, keeps going the direction.
And when he's doing that, I'll be tapping my foot.
Okay. It's like, all right, come on.
You know, AV's, I gotta ask, what the hell was in that damn thing?
That would be a trade secret, my boy, and I cannot share that with you.
Fair enough.
The mountebank can pre-prepare stuff that they wish, making elixirs and potions and stuff. As this is a playtest, I'm just going to presume that Doc Avies had such a thing in his bag and go on. So the townfolk is he's going out west, just pulling you. He's still gagging, but he's doing a little bit better. The air is more fresh. He's taking you to the outskirts of town, and so you're passing now the basically the limits of the town, older village, older style houses, and just keeps going. And then he points, and just as you get like through the last house that would be called being a part of the city, kind of points out at a farm field, and he just points out there. It's like, it's the only house out there. You see it? Cattle ranchers that keep some chickens. Can't miss it. They got that bright red roof.
What's your name, Granger?
Sonny.
Bonnie?
Sonny. Did I stutter, son? Sonny. He points up into the sky like the sun.
I'm gonna pistol whip him again for that attitude. Is this an attack roll this time?
Yeah. He's not gonna be surprised again by this.
So is that a D20 or a D20 and
Well,
D3?
Let's roll some initiative here. Let's see if he gets to drop on you or vice versa.
I get a -1 to initiative.
Yes, you do.
Do I get initiative too? Because I'm ready to hop in here and
Yeah,
diamond
if you're
cutter
ready
this
to
guy.
hop in, anybody that wants a part of this, Bunny, can go ahead and roll me some initiative.
What do you roll for initiative in this game?
So initiative is a D20 plus your. Let me see here. I think it's your reflex.
Agility.
Agility.
Yeah, your
Just
agility.
as an aside, how many folks are around?
Right now, it's just you. There's some folks looking through windows, but there's none immediately around you.
Got it.
What are they gonna do?
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
Sonny
man.
crits his initiative.
So I got a 13.
All right. Well, Sonny got a 20. And as you're reaching down for your gun, he just kicks you square in the balls, or at least tries to.
Oh, that bastard.
I see here. Sonny's going to make an attack roll. He's got a +1 to this roll. 16 is going to hit you. Your armor class, since in Westerns people don't go around armored for the most part, is a 10. He definitely hit you there.
I have muscles. That counts as armor.
I actually made the suggestion to David that part of the description it was well-oiled bodies. It's like, yeah, you should give an armor bonus for oiling up.
There should be. There really should be.
I agree.
So he's going to do a D4 +1 damage. He's a farm guy. He's pretty.
My time has come.
That's just a point of damage. I mean, so he does kick you, but you turn just enough that your boys don't take the full brunt of his kick. All right, who got the next highest?
I think I did. Chupacabra got a 4.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm last. I'm waiting for my turn.
All right, I still want to pistol whip him.
All right, go ahead, make an attack roll.
All right, that's the
Now-
D20 and D3 or just D20?
All right, so I'm sorry, are you the Lugia?
No, I'm the gunslinger.
Okay, you're the gunslinger. So you still get the D20 plus the D3. So roll that button.
And I add strength?
Yes.
Or I don't add anything. All right, then I got a 14.
Well, you certainly hit him. Again, you're pistol whipping, so I'll do a D4 plus your strength modifier plus that 2. You might end up killing this guy.
3, 2 for strength, so that's 7 total.
And then another 2 for your gunslinger die there.
Well, yeah, that I included that in the 7.
Oh, you included that. So what was your total?
7.
7. You crack the guy's skull and he drops at your feet.
Not so bright anymore, are you?
You think that's brain leaking out of there?
I'm gonna
I'm just
shoot a
gonna-
glance over to the dock and see what the dock thinks of
Where-
this guy getting brained in the middle of the road.
I'm gonna wipe my bloody pistol off on his clothes.
I think we just turned a bad situation into a fucking mess here, guys.
What are you talking about? We're in apple pie order. Let's keep going. And I start heading towards the Watsons.
Uh,
I'm sorry,
dead,
guys.
Doc.
I didn't
He's
mean to
dead.
kill him.
La Chupacabra just walks over there and just kind of kicks him with his boot a little bit.
wait, did you say there were witnesses?
There were people looking through windows out at the, you don't know if they're looking directly at you, but there
Hey,
were people looking out of windows.
He threw the first punch, though.
After you. Okay. Oh, man. Whitman, help me grab this guy's other arm. I want to see if there's a chair on the nearest porch or something like that. Did this guy have a hat on?
Of course you did.
Okay, definitely going to collect that. Let's go prop him up in that chair and put this hat over his face like he's sleeping.
Doc, I don't know how I feel about you roping me into this because witnesses saw that we weren't involved. But all right, now I
Wait.
kind of scoop him under the armpit.
Yeah, let's prop him up, and we can talk to the sheriff about this later if it comes
All right.
up.
We attempt to weekend at Bernie's this guy onto a front porch that
He's taking a siesta.
It's
a
like the
house
second
that-
weekend of Bernie's this week we've had, Chuck.
preferably a house where somebody's not looking out the window. Like, I don't want to go put this on the front porch where somebody's in the house.
Oh, this is the worst case scenario for Ding Dong Ditch.
Yeah, so we'll just
I
prop
didn't
this
mean
guy
to
up
kill him.
and then just tilt his hat all the way down to his nose and
Yeah.
cross his feet and walk off, I guess.
Yeah, that's
I'm glad I brought the cleaning crew.
Yeah, I'm a fucking doctor and a preacher, and you got me playing crime scene cleanup.
All right, maybe people didn't see you. I mean, it is snowing, so maybe you're all right. You don't know. And certainly the officer, the sheriff and his minions are occupied right now. All right, so you head off further into the Watsons' little family dwelling there. You do see that some neighbor had fixed up the fence and gotten the cows in place. You do see an occasional chicken taking roost up in trees as they've not been tended to. Snow on the ground. There's a little bit of flurry in the night, but it is not, or excuse me, this is the day still. There's a little bit of snow coming down, but it's not much, just a few flakes here and there. Got about like half a foot of snow. You can clearly see the front door is still just caved in. It was just destroyed, like some great weight was pushed up against it.
well. Moving up to this on the porch, do I see the blood stains?
You do actually, and it's significant. Like right on the front porch, it's soaked into the wood. This is probably where the school marm was found, as he did say that she made it out of the house.
Okay. And is there a blood trail heading in?
Tell you what, is there anything in your background that you could call upon to say that you're a decent tracker or crime scene investigator? You got some Caruso in your back?
Absolutely not.
All right. Roll me a D10 plus your intelligence modifier. Anyone else who's just observing the scene can do this as well. If you think your character's background would make you particularly observant or be able to figure out a trail or what happened here, you may roll a D20. Otherwise, it's a D10.
I'll bow out of this one.
I don't
Yeah.
have anything in the like tracking kind of area, but being that I spent some time in and around a clinic and working as a nurse, can I get a better idea of what may have caused?
Sure. You can roll a D20 and add your intelligence modifier, whether that's good or. I'm just going to go down the list here. So, Cool Hand, were you trying to determine anything?
No, I'm not smart enough for that.
All right, so you're just looking about. The things that you can tell is not only is the front door shattered, but this is a 2-story dwelling, and a couple of the upper floor windows are also shattered.
I reckon someone broke the house.
How about Whitman? Were you observing the scene? What did you roll?
I was checking my character sheet to make sure I got it right. So a 15 on my medicine check, as it were.
Sure. You can tell that certainly that blood stain, if that came from one person, that person certainly died here. That's more blood than someone could survive losing. You definitely note that.
Now, this is the one right on the front porch?
Correct. Yep.
And Isaac said he was on the front porch with the school marm, one of the neighbor.
Yes.
All right.
How about you, Doc? What were you looking into? You were trying to follow a trail.
Yeah. And after my roll and applying my modifier, I got a 1.
Okay. What blood?
Yeah.
No, you see the obvious, but you're really not able to make any deductions from that. How about our luchador? Were you looking about?
I was, and I rolled a 10 on my 10 because I don't have any background experience that's going to help with blood trails. But I have a -1 for my intelligence, so it's actually not.
So you're very, is that so you 10, but you get a -1.
Yeah.
Really observant. So one thing that you do note that the others don't is that those windows broke in, not out, on the second floor. So there's no glass on the outside on the roof. It all was something from the outside came in.
Hey man, look up there. There's no glass from those broken windows.
You think something climbed up there or just flew straight in?
I mean, maybe they repelled from like the roof.
Can we see any sort of claw marks either up the side of the building or down from the roof to the window?
Well, since your luchador pointed it out, you're looking specifically for that. Yeah, you're seeing kind of gouges in the wood that make up the first floor, just right under where the windows are.
Is this like a porch where there's like pillars that I could like climb up to get up onto there to see what's up there?
Sounds like that might be a thing.
I use my luchador turnbuckle climbing experience and I climb my way up the pole.
All right, we're going to do something fun here. Second story, just during this time, the first or bottom stories tended to have high ceilings so people could afford it just because no air conditioning. And so, it allowed the hotter air to go higher. So I'm going to say that to get up onto the roof is going to be, we'll call it 12 feet. So you're going to climb here. This is important in case you fall. All right.
Sure, which I'm a professional at falling. I take falls all the time.
But are you still lubed up?
So make me a D20 roll plus your strength modifier. I will
That's
actually allow agility in your case. So like if you're going to make a show of it and do a bit of acrobatics as you climb, I'll allow that.
Yeah, he's got to do the climbing and he's got to stop and like look for the crowd, on his way up. So D20.
Play for the gallery.
Plus
That's
your
not
mod.
a good roll. That's a 0 mod for agility.
Okay. Because we're testing out rules, I'm going to have this happen. So you almost get to the top. So you've gone past 10 foot level. There's a little bit of a lip of an overhang. You figure you're going to give a show to people. So you kind of grip it with the tips of your fingers and you're wanting to flip up and over to get onto the roof. And you do it. It's perfectly executed. You hurl your body up. Your feet make contact with the roof and you're about to stand up and give off your showmanship bow. And just as you bow, your feet slip from out under you. Your head smacks on the roof and you go tumbling. You go falling. So fall damage.
Oh,
I'll let you roll it. It's a D6 damage, but if you roll a 6, you've broken a bone.
as he falls, I want to make sure to take a step back
It's a 1.
so that I'm not in the area of impact.
All right, so it's hurt your pride more than anything else. So you take a hit point worth of damage, and you come tumbling off the roof.
He hits the ground and he does the when the wrestler gets thrown on the mat and he puts one hand up in the air and arches his back. Like it hurt way worse than what it actually. He's grabbing his back. He's got to shake his fist so he can get up. He's got to. He marches around with it for a minute, like he's getting all mad. But there's no one to fight, of course. He's just doing what he would do if he's in the.
He's fighting his embarrassment.
All right, what are the rest of you guys doing?
Enjoying a good chuckle.
So the door looks blocked in, right?
No, the door is completely gone. It's just been just destroyed off the hinges.
I'll just walk in.
Right. First floor is just like a tornado.
Pistol drawn, by the way.
Okay, pistols drawn. That's a good thing to point out. So pictures, furniture, items are just trashed. It's like, a wild lion went to town in here just ripping and tearing everything. Actually, the idea that it was an animal comes across your mind as you're getting this really musky smell, like something it's like a bunch of cats have marked ownership in here. It's really just nasty in the air. cloying, and it's just, and with the door open and the air blowing through here, it's amazing that it's still this strong.
This isn't a smell that we've smelled before in dealing with the cults and Isaac and anyone.
You know what? Since you're first level characters, and we have said that you have gone on missions before, let's have everyone do a D20 modified by your intelligence to see if this is bringing up any memory.
It reminds me of my family cat that was killed in the cultist attack.
All right. Well, any of you that actually got, let's say, at least a 10, you are remembering back, and actually Isaac's words to you here just a little bit ago, reminding you of the last time you were together and you were exterminating a den of werewolves. It does smell a little bit like that. Very similar. There's an underlying smell of decay with it as well, but it's got that damp, wet fur smell, that marking of territory smell.
Yeah, Whitman's going to point that out and say, this smell, it reminds me of when we were working with Isaac before, that disgusting wet dog smell. I don't know what would have brought them here and what would have made them attack this farmland, but
Well, whatever it is, it can't be good.
Tell you what, let's interface with another rule here. Since it's bridging up a memory where you guys were, it didn't go well. You might have even lost some of your friends during this. There is grit, is a new statistic that's used in this system. It's kind of like a fear check. Okay. Let me get to it real quick here. Pardon the flipping. I had to print a bunch of this out. I didn't get time to put in tabs.
It's a playtest. I expect this kind of. I am thinking up questions for you though, so let me know.
Let's figure out what your grit scores are. It's basically the average of your stamina and personality. The scores, not the modifiers. So take your stamina and personality, add it up, divide by 2, round down. Think of grit as your hit points.
Twitch chat is asking, who's the publisher for this system?
I got an 11 grit.
David's doing it himself. There isn't it's not got a publisher really attached.
My grit is 13, by the way.
Oh, he is good.
Give that to me again. What do I need to roll?
Well, right now we're just finding out what your grit score is, or your grit hit points. It's the average of your stamina and personality, rounded down.
Oh.
It's luckily the 2 stats that I actually have points in.
All right, so now to make the check, it's a D20 modified by your personality score, whether that's a plus or a minus.
All right. So
D20 and you're trying to beat a base 8 plus the fear factor of the creature or thing you're experiencing. I'm going to give this one a 2. So I'm looking for a 10 or better. You're okay.
Hot damn. Rolled a 5.
I'm actually at 16.
So a 7 would be a -1 modifier?
Yes.
All right. I think I'm good, though, with the 17.
What are we sticking on this D20 roll? I'm sorry.
Personality modifier.
Oh, that I can do. Oh, but I did real bad.
Oh, it's personality modifier, not grit modifier.
Yep.
Yeah, your grit is your like your hit points. It doesn't actually.
Oh, okay. Then
That's
I'm
interesting.
16.
Okay, who didn't make at least a 10?
I
Whitman
did
and the
not.
Duck.
Yep.
Looks like Duck didn't make it.
I'll pistol whip you back to your senses.
All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to roll on the fear chart to see what happens to you, Doc. Again, give me a moment to look up this chart.
You got it.
Whitman's in there too.
It makes sense that the muscle's not worried about it.
Right.
All right. So mechanically, first of all, you're going to lose 1 point of your grit score. So you're basically taking 1 point of damage.
Noted.
And let's go ahead and roll on the fear chart here. So this is you're going to roll a d6, and it's going to be modified. But what is your luck? Is it a positive or a negative or just a flat zero?
Mine's a flat 0.
Okay, just roll a d6 for me.
Okay. Bam! I got a 5.
All right, so for the next little bit, you're going to suffer a -1d penalty to like interaction rolls as you're just kind of you're reminiscing. You're in a bad place, and it's just really shaking you. I'll let you know when that effect is over.
Cool.
And for me, sir?
Did you also fail?
Yes, sir.
All right, 1 point. You're just taking a single point of grit loss because you're not actually fighting a horrific thing. This is like a scene or a memory. Okay, it would be worse if it were an actual creep. And then what is your luck modifier?
0.
Okay, just roll a d6.
Okay. 5.
Basically the same thing. You are caught in the memory, and it's just going to be distracting to you for a bit. So if you're trying to interact with someone, you're just going to be at a -1 die. What a die penalty means is, again, if you guys are looking at the bottom of the screen, see the dice arranged from D3 up to D percentage and beyond. So let's say your normal interaction die is a D20. If I say you're minus a D, you go down 1 die type. So it would go from D20 to do a D16. And the opposite if you're plus a die type. So D20 to a D24. Okay.
Interesting.
Okay, so that's the memory. A really bad time with a bunch of werewolves and not too distant past. Very fresh in your minds there.
Drawing from this memory, did the wolves just like attack a place, or did they attack the people and then take them somewhere? What was?
Usually it was slaughter. I mean, they ate the individuals they attacked.
Okay, and they ate them at the location. They didn't take them back to the den or anything.
Yeah, that was what happened the last time you investigated one of these things.
Well, gang, I don't know where to go from here. Whether we try to track them down to where they're coming from, or just hopefully hopefully, unhopefully, whatever you want to call it, strike again, and luckily would clear Isaac's name. But who's down for hunting some dogs?
Do we got a trail on him? And do we feel like we thoroughly exhausted whatever this house might hold for us?
Well, we could
use the
certainly.
We'll say use the same rules that you guys had used for your investigation and say that you basically tear the house apart, just looking to see if there are any clues, anything else. And as our luchador did pretty well, and one of you also did Okay, so looking through the top story windows, so you're on the second floor and you look to see how they're burst in, and you can definitely see on the roof right outside of the windows that something did in fact get up onto the roof and just burst through these windows. And you're looking around thinking to yourselves, like, what happened the last time we faced creatures like this? And you're thinking, well, they had a home, they had a den, and you're looking out one of these windows and you're noticing that the farmers here had started to plow a new field. If you look out the east window, that's another one that's broken. You can see where they had started to fence off and plow up a new field. And there's like a small hill there. It's got a rocky outcropping, and the field just butts up right up against it.
So
and you can see through the snow that there's the snow has not accumulated much in the last few days. It's just been a little bit here and there, but it's enough to wipe out most trails. But from this vantage point, from up here, higher elevation, looking down, you can definitely see where the snow is filling in a lower spot. So there is a trail that you can see that leads out to that far field, that new field that was being built.
So this rocky outcropping is on the far end of the field from the house?
Correct. So it would be away from town in that direction.
What's beyond the field? Is this like open flatland, or are we looking into some of the like wooded foothills of the Appalachians?
Wood on rolling hills that start to, in the further distance you can see, becomes more mountainous.
And it's been a few days, so we wouldn't see any tracks in the snow, right?
Correct. But what you are seeing from this elevation is where the new snowfall has started to fill in a depression that might have been a trail at one point. And you probably would not have seen it from the ground level. But from here, second story up, looking down, you can see a trail.
Well, boys, shall we take ourselves a little hike down the old lonely trail there?
I do believe so. Whitman's going to take his like shawl and wrap it up around his neck and face, since we're going to be stomping out through the snow into the wilderness. And I will head downstairs and get ready to stomp off in the direction of that rocky outcrop.
All right, guys, you go head out the back and you start plodding through. You took a good marking of what direction everything was in, because now that you're down at ground level again, you really can't see it from down here. But you took note of that low hill at the end of the new area that's being worked. Looked like they started it right before the snowfall and just stopped when the snowfall came. And heading out, give me some kind of idea of who's in the lead and who's trailing, who's in the back.
I'll take the back, and I'll have my rifle drawn.
I'll head up front and have my shotgun kind of just at quarter arms, just walking with.
I'll follow him. I'll follow right behind him.
Yeah.
In case anything comes to ambush.
Number 3 in the trail sounds like a safe spot for me.
All right.
I do want to be a little bit further back than the rest of the group. I don't want to be out of sight, but just like a good 50 yards.
Okay, that sounds good. Who has the highest intelligence in the group here? Like, what's the highest modifier between all?
Not me. That's why I'm staying separate.
I'm a -1. I can't imagine I'm the highest.
I as well have a -1.
-2.
Oh,
I do have the highest. I'm at a 0.
Oh, you got the 0.
I have 9 intelligence.
You guys are like the B group.
I am the brains of this operation. Oh no.
We are in so much trouble.
Okay. So you get to the outcropping where there's, again, this low hill where the new construction has just kind of stopped for the winter. And you're checking it out. It is rather rocky. It starts to climb and to become more mountainous. There are more trees out here. And as you're kind of just looking around, because the trail kind of stopped right here where the train started to get a little bit worse. And you're looking around, and suddenly there's a voice just like right there telling you, what y'all looking for? Young man, he might be, still very young, so 12 to 14 or so. He's wearing some really ratty overalls. You can't help but notice that he's barefooted. He's got short sleeves on. He's got a straw hat on. His face is just really dirty, like he just came out from the fields, out from perhaps playing. Seems to be completely unaffected by the cold. And he's just sitting there on a rock. None of you noticed him until he talked.
Guys, I feel like I should shoot him.
I feel like at this moment, maybe not.
I'm going to have my rifle trained on him just in case.
All right. If you train your guns on him, he seems completely just doesn't even faze him. He's got a piece of grass to his lips, and not exactly sure where he pulled out a fresh blade of grass from, but he's just chewing on it. I'm sorry, do y'all speak English? What you looking for?
I'm sorry there, my boy. We were just taking a look and see what happened at that house right there. Did you know that school marm?
Yeah, don't go myself, but I knew her.
So, what can you tell me about that outcropping there beyond the field?
All right. He just smiles and says, yeah, looks like some mountains and some trees.
What's out that way? Any silver mines or anything, or just wood?
There used to be a copper mine out there, I think. He scratches behind his ears. Shut down a long time ago, though. The kin didn't like it.
The kin?
Yeah, my kin, my family, my family's family. We all live up through here.
That was me being deaf, not Whitman being an idiot.
Yeah.
Where do you live at, boy?
All around. These were my neighbors.
Were they? Surprised you aren't sweating more on a hot, sunny day like today.
He just laughs and says, no, I'm used to the cold.
So, go ahead.
Sorry. Slightly off topic, but also on topic. Do we have silver bullets?
I'm going to say that that's reasonable, given your trade.
I want to make sure those are loaded.
Okay. Maybe when you were reminiscing the house, you decided to change out your bullets.
Okay. Sorry. Back to you, Chuck.
You got any idea what happened to the family that lived there?
Oh, yeah. They broke a promise. He just shakes his head.
Breaking a
Don't
promise.
matter if that promise were made generations ago. Promise is a promise.
I agree with you there. Promises are important. How the world works.
That's right.
What promise is it they broke?
Oh, we had an understanding. And he kind of just points over to the field that was being here and no further. That's what we said. They went further. You guys hear, it's not quite a howl, but it's some kind of animal call. None of you guys are particularly frontiersmen, so you're not exactly sure what that call is. But his ears literally like rotate a little bit as he stands up. He's like, "Oh, supper time! I gotta go."
Hold up now. Just one more question. What are you going to do if I go further?
He shrugs. Don't know.
Looking at where he pointed when he said here no further, was there any kind of like rock or signal?
The of this, again, there's this beginning of this hill here that's kind of rocky. Most of it's covered with snow, so I mean, you don't know if there was actually some kind of marker here or not.
Looking at where he pointed, does it look like they tilled the farmland past where they were supposed to, or does it look like maybe they ventured
you don't know
further than
where
they were?
you don't know exactly where the further than they're supposed to should
Got
be.
it.
Right?
Yeah, that's why I was looking for that visual indicator. So that's what I was trying to piece together, whether the farm encroached or whether they walked past.
Yeah, good thought. But with everything covered in snow, you really don't know.
Damn the weather.
If anyone is not trying to stop the kid, he goes just running off into the forest.
Well, Chupacabra's just kind of looking at his friends and looking at the guy like, am I supposed to get him? Am I supposed to get him?
Get him.
They take off in a sprint after him.
Okay, this is actually awesome. We can do another rule system where we're going to do a chase. And would you say that your character was ready or not ready for this? I guess you had to ask. You had to ask, so you weren't ready.
Well, he's like hopping around, ready to go, and then he's looking at him like...
He was ready. He was waiting on permission.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the people clearly in charge of this ordeal to...
Okay,
give
fair
me the
enough.
signal.
So
I give him the signal.
He's like a rabbit attack dog, just waiting for him to say go. He's ready to go all the time.
Sure, but since he did have to flee first before the attack dog goes after, he's going to have just a little bit of a lead on you. All right?
Yeah, that's fine. So what do I roll initiative?
Oh, give me a second.
So there I was watching a greased up wrestler tackle werewolf Tom Sawyer in 3 feet of snow.
In the snow.
I was watching Deadwood to get ready for this. I guess I should have been watching like Balto or something.
Damn goose.
Again, sorry for the delay here.
I have people pimples.
I just noticed there's a pistol whip chart.
Oh, man.
Oh, God.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
My guy's so terrible at everything. There's no way this is going to go well. It's going to be fun failing.
You got it. I believe in you.
I got to see if I can get these stunt dice. That's about my only hope.
I mean, I wouldn't mind winging the kid with my rifle if that would help. Or if the angle doesn't work out. I don't want to shoot Luchador. El Chupacabra. La Chupacabra.
Translates to goat sucker.
I mean, what you do in your private time is none of my concern.
Yeah, no judgments here. Well, maybe a little bit of judgment.
Twitch chat. The pistol whip chart is just brain linkage for 50 rows.
Oh, man. Talking about pistol whips, I got a story to tell you guys, but I cannot tell it while we're streaming, so... Once we're off the air...
Thanks for the cliffhanger for everybody watching, Chuck.
Statute of limitations hasn't passed yet.
Yeah, that is an accurate statement. Once we're off the air, I'll tell you guys.
we can't have that out there on the internet forever.
Right.
I'm gonna make a YouTube video just telling everyone what this was.
Sorry for the delay, guys.
Chuck tells the stories
to the document. I'm trying to find the most recent one.
You're good, man. It's a playtest. I'm just jealous that Doc Avy's got that card. I want a card. What do I got to do to draw a card?
Shoot a gun.
Ooh.
I pistol whip someone.
Things I'll never have to worry about.
What if I accidentally misfire while pistol whipping someone? Then does that count?
I'm gonna need you to be like, these is the only guns I need, and flex and kiss both biceps.
Oh, man. That's what you should do.
His lips start glistening from the lube.
While this is loading up here, what is everyone else doing? One of you takes off after the kid.
Watching.
Whitman's gonna take at least a couple of steps. Like I'm not rushing, but I'm not doing nothing with a shotgun at this range. So I'm gonna start walking that way and try to stow my shotgun and start getting ready to draw a pistol.
I am still further back behind where the group was,
Sure.
but if I can get a clean shot, I'd like to take a knee, take my time and aim, and try to wing the kid. I don't want to kill him.
Ooh, okay. You want to make you're making a called shot. Are you the?
I'm the gunslinger.
You're okay. So that would be making a called shot or a trick shot.
Go for his big.
Let's have everybody
feet.
go ahead and do initiative then. Let's see how this all breaks.
That was D20 for initiative, right?
Right, plus your agility modifier.
Uh,
Oh man, I'm rolling low tonight.
It's a game of single digits, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when you
So-
pretty much have negatives to everything, it's kind of hard to have bigger numbers.
so true.
The odds of any roll ending in a 19 is pretty slim.
I honestly didn't expect to be the smartest person with a 9 intelligence.
I watched Chuck's Dungeon Crawl Classics game where they were each playing 4 characters each, so I had a pretty good idea about how bad all these characters were going to be.
All right. So the kid has an 18.
Oh,
Who's the next highest?
Looks like me. Cool Hand Clyde.
Clyde, what were you doing?
I wanted to wing him. Did anyone else have a modifier that put him above 9?
No.
no.
Mine's a
So
zero.
before the chase starts, then you will get a chance to shoot him. So you're calling a trick shot here. So you're going to roll a d20 and that d3. If you nail the 3, you'll wing him exactly where you want to wing him.
Ooh.
All right, now here's the thing. So you miss. Yeah, you definitely miss. But now on your card deck, draw. Here's the thing: when you shoot a gun, guns are somewhat unreliable during this time. Okay, so here's how this works in the deck. Every time you shoot a gun or discharge a bullet, you can draw from the deck. If you get an ace or an 8, you misfire. If you get a suit card, Jack, Queen, King, there's going to be a modifier to your roll. So you actually might still hit him if you get a good modifier with the card.
I got a queen.
You got a queen. Is it black or red?
Black.
All right. Let me make sure on the most recent thing here. Give me a second.
Betting it all on black.
Okay. So black is bad. So it's actually going to make a negative modifier to the roll. Let me see what else it does.
It's probably good. I didn't really want to hit him if I wasn't winging him.
Yeah.
Dark
Let's just hope you don't
Trails-
hit Luchador.
Dark Trails RPG says that's a -2.
And actually, I get a -1 to all attack rolls anyways.
Oh, wow. Okay. There's also a boons and hexes thing, and I'm just checking to see if the most recent version gives a boon or a hex for a black card. Just want to check here to make the answers in chat. Let me know.
Dark Trail says -2 for black, and then red is a +2.
That's 2 hit and damage.
All right, so we're not doing boons and hexes with that deck yet. Okay, so it's just a miss. Nothing else spectacular happens. Gun discharges. So we do not reshuffle your deck yet. So again, this is something that is interesting about this. If you're in a prolonged battle, you kind of know what your odds are going to be the more you draw. So you can do kind of a card counting thing going on.
Also, Nat 1 and Perfect 20 are what decides boons and hexes, according to chat.
Yep, that would be David talking to us there. All right, so you got the second action, so you get your shot off. Who had the next initiative?
Is that me? Might be me. I'm a 7.
Okay, were you the one chasing?
Yep.
Jack
Sorry.
has an 8.
Oh, is
Yeah,
there an
what-
8? Yep, there is an 8. Sorry.
All right. So what was the 8 doing?
I just wanted to move closer, stow shotgun, and draw a pistol. I don't know how much of that I can do, but that is my plan.
So you were involved in the chase too, then?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, you can do those things. So your action would be to just go ahead and change out your gun and rifle. Your movement would be to follow the. So who's the next person in initiative?
That would be the luchador running down the
Luchador
kid.
running down the kid. So let's do the chase thing here.
All right.
All right. So your side, roll a d10. Just one of you roll a d10.
An 8.
All right. He does have a lead on you, so he's going to get a slight bonus to his roll.
you got this, man.
Oh, no, he missed it. So you guys got a high, which means that you're going to pull ahead. So you guys actually do catch up with him. So you're both running, Mr. Luchador. You and your buddy catch up to the kid. Well, he is astoundingly agile, though. Just moving very quickly over the snow and the uneven ground. It's actually surprising that you're able to catch up so easily with him.
Well, he's darting, zigzag lines or whatever, and I'm running straight. So he might be quicker, more agile, but he's being too agile. And when I catch up to him, I'm just gonna jump over at him, grab him around the head, and just boom, just take him to the ground.
I'll allow that. We'll call the chase portion of that as your movement for the round. So your action
Sure.
could be you pounce on him, and
I give him like a bulldog, just around the neck, just boom, face down into the ground.
Sure, go for it. It's a D20 plus your lucha. So roll that D20 plus D3.
Boom, baby.
Wow, yeah,
Oh,
he goes
man.
down. Now, are you just trying to subdue him, or are you trying to do damage to him?
Oh, I don't know how to subdue people. I'm just like pile driving him kind of right to the ground. Just and then he stands up and I do my little flourish like luchador, like 2 point, hands straight up in the air, like I'm getting ready to pin him.
Wow. Okay, so if you're not trying to pull it back, then you slam him to the ground. Roll a D6 for damage, and you're going to add your +2 to that.
Looks like we just killed their second NPC.
It's a child this
Save my
time.
bullets for the war.
There's a sickening crunching sound beneath you.
Can't stop laughing.
I flip him over, pull up the leg, wait for the 3 count,
He's not moving.
stand
Not
up like I
quite sure
won,
that he's still breathing.
put my foot on him, wait for the crowd, to cheer, which of course is just my party mates, but
Nice. All right, just for listeners out there, so the chase scene, again, you start at on the dice chain. Typically, you're going to start at the D10, and you're trying to shift up and down depending on who's the chaser and who's the chased. The kid had a slight lead, so I moved him up the chain 1. And each side rolls a D10, which is modified by how much of a lead the other person has, if they're moving faster, if the target's been damaged. So there's a modifier list, and so whoever wins that D10 challenge, you're going to move either up or down the scale. In this case, you guys rolled better, so you caught up to him. So that's what went on there. It was a very short chase, ending in a very, very bad thing.
I mean,
La Chupacabra. Unfortunately, there's no applause.
that
to
was
your excellent pinning technique.
that was perfect technique. I don't understand. Why is everybody so upset?
You guys hear a chorus of these not quite howls going off, and they seem to be coming from multiple locations, like all around you.
Rifle up and ready.
sorry, Chupacabra, that was perfect. But did you hear that? I think we're being watched, and I'm gonna kind of spin around and survey the area.
How could they not watch me?
Quite marvelous there, my boy. At the crunch and the howling, I want to get in my suitcase and get out an actual bomb type concoction.
Sure, we can say you have another bomb in there.
I'm gonna slowly get up and keep scanning the horizon, rifle up, and slowly regroup
What
with
the
everyone who's
heck is
much
that?
further ahead now.
As you scan this horizon, and you're
Oh.
looking out of the tree line, you're seeing a creature step forward. It's shaggy. Its lower legs are that reticulation that wolves and dogs sort of have. It has a skeletal head with horns, like ram horns, like deer horns, just twisted. They're not symmetrical coming out. The eyes are glowing red. The mouth is filled with jagged, broken teeth. This isn't a werewolf, but whatever it is certainly menacing. And this is a great point here where we can do another grit check.
Oh man.
So it's a D20 plus your personality modifier.
Oh, I'm doing so bad.
Boom. +1,
Okay,
that's a 20.
okay. -2, I get a 15.
La Chupacabra knows no fear.
Too stupid to be scared, right?
Probably true.
What's with all the fucking 8s? Jesus Christ.
Hey, Jay Bruce, thanks for that host.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. It's a shit show, but it's our shit show.
Jay Bruce, good friend of the show over at TT2KB. He's at Mod 20. Good.
I shall have to check him out.
All right. So the grit check starts at an 8, modified by the fear factor. This thing is pretty damn fearsome.
Yeah, it thinks it's fearsome.
Yeah. Luchador.
Seeing nothing.
So
Yes.
we're looking at 11. Did anybody get less than an 11?
Yep, I sure
Same
did.
as last time.
Yep.
Yeah. The two
also-
old guys in the back always scared.
Yeah. Dark Trails RPG and Tool to Twitch. Thanks for those follows as well.
That you're keeping up with him.
He can see him. We can't.
I can't. I got the stream pulled up, but it's just now popping up there. There it goes.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
It's on delay. That's why.
So yeah, I got myself a 4 on that grit check.
Oh.
All right. So each of you that lost, you're gonna lose 3 points to your grit score. You're
Ouch.
unable to act in this round of initiative here, and we're rolling on the fear tables with the modifier.
Oh, exciting.
Bring on the fair tables. So that we can fight this what wolf.
Now, how many of these things do we see, by the way?
Only one has made itself visible, but I mean, you hear many howls out there.
Roll d20 modified by the creature's hit dice and your luck, and then check the chart.
Yep, as he said. Thanks there. I've got paperwork strewn all around me here for this. It's still hard to locate.
So
Its
what is
fear
the
factor is 3.
Okay, so d20 plus or minus 3?
It depends. If your luck modifier is a negative, it makes it worse for you it makes it worse for you on your charts. If it's positive, it makes it better for you. So you want lower numbers on the chart.
Okay, so I have a 0 luck.
So no modifier.
I
for
would.
luck.
So 1d20 plus 3.
Dark Trails has +3, higher, worse.
Okay. There we go.
Oh man. Oh, that's my high roll for the night right there.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah.
Oh.
Mhm.
Oh
Me and you, Doc, we got this. Low rolls on fear, high rolls on shit.
Oh, I should have worn my brown pants.
The
for
one
this
time you
adventure.
don't want high rolls.
Right.
Last time I didn't want a high roll. It
All
was
right.
a
Well, you
D100.
fall to the ground, having violent seizures from the horrific sight in front of you.
Which one was that, or is that both of us?
That's the 23.
Okay.
Whitman Jack is down.
I'll roll a D12 for that 23.
D12, you say?
For the person that rolled the 23.
Don't bite your tongue. Seizure 101.
8 on the D12.
All right, it's going to take you 8 rounds of laying on the ground here, seizing, and
Oh.
basically you can't take any other action than that. What was the roll of the other person who failed?
21. 8 rounds. That's
Oh,
tense.
wow. You've just had a complete memory blackout. So why are you here? Where are you? Why are you in this forest filling up with snow? And what the hell is that thing?
What is going on? Someone seems to have
Your
excreted in my
short-term
pants.
memory has just been shorted out. If you were collecting clues, information, etc., you wiped out. You've forgotten everything. Haven't forgotten who you are and who these people are. You're just, events in
am
the
I
last
here?
little bit are gone.
Okay. Well, this is exciting.
I'm gonna
You
just
do still lose initiative for this round, even though you are able to act.
Yeah, that's going to be an extra surprise now that I don't know the context of this monster being here either.
Yep, that is true.
I'm gonna just hope that in 8 rounds
Interesting.
I
You rolled
bury
a
myself in the
20, which is the worst roll you can roll on a chart, I believe, which should mean that you also earn a hex token from this as well.
Please inform me what that means. As
What
I
a hex
spend...
token is they build up and they give you negative modifiers as long as you have them on you. Boon tokens, when you roll the best that you can, like in normal circumstances, like a natural, you can spend boon tokens to add to your rolls. You can use them to remove hex tokens, other good like effects. So in this case, you were burdened by 1 hex token. Now, what are the rest of the initiatives?
I'm like 19.
I thought that was our fear check, though,
That is your
wasn't it?
fear
Oh,
check.
sorry. Yeah.
So initiative rolls for everybody else. Those of you that were feared are just going to go, you lose initiative.
All right, I have a -1 to initiative, so I'm at a 16.
That's good. The creatures are going really low. So what do you do, Mr. Cool Hand Norton?
Pistol whip it.
We're going to say it's at it's further than short range, but not quite at long range. So it would give no particular modifiers for shooting.
Is it closer to the group or closer to me? Because I was further away moving towards them.
Oh, in your case, it would be long range. It's closer to the group than you.
Good. Well, it's not time to throw up the sponge just yet, so I'll start shooting
Okay.
with my rifle.
Anything special you want to do, or just straight out shooting?
I want to kill it.
Right.
that count
You're
as
the
special?
gunslinger, right?
So D20 and D3, right?
D20 and D3. That is correct. You are at long range. So there's going to be a -1 penalty. That's still a great
And I
roll.
get a -1 to all attack as well.
Okay. It's still a 16. So you're still going to hit it.
All right. What kind of damage
using
am I
a
doing
rifle,
here?
right?
Correct.
Give me just a second. I got my gear list just today.
I'm really enjoying that Dark Trails is in the Twitch chat and able to answer real time. I'm learning a lot.
It's very useful.
Also, is my rifle a lever action? Because I wouldn't mind fanning the hammer.
I don't
Better than
think
hammering
you
the
could
fan.
do that with a rifle because, well, let me think for a minute.
Dark Trails
I
RPG
guess you
said I
could,
could
yeah.
earlier.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
you could.
But
Sure,
it all depends if
you want
you're a benevolent
single action-
GM saying I gotta.
Yeah, if you want a single action rifle, that's just fine. There are a couple of them. 1861 Springfield, that's a musket. You don't want a musket. You want a Sharps. There we go. It
Whatever.
does a D14, but you're going to fan it?
Yeah,
All right, let's look at those real quick.
more bullets the better.
All right, what it comes down to is how many bullets are you going to send down?
First shot's a D20, second shot's a D16, third
Yeah,
D14.
it goes down for each bullet you go.
I'll do 3 bullets, 3 shots.
Okay, now your shootist dice here, that one you rolled a 1 is going to be for each bullet. Okay, so you don't re-roll that; it stays the same. Now, here's the thing, though: we do a card flip for each bullet, though. So first, flip a card.
10 of diamonds.
All right, no bad effect, not a face card, not an ace or an 8, so it's normal, and that would be your D20 roll that you made. So it hits. Go ahead and do your damage.
D14, you said, right?
D14 and +1, because that was what your shootist dice was there. All right. Now, if I am correct, you guys did say that you loaded up with silver bullets, right?
I did, yes.
All right. There is an effect. You hit a center of mass. It takes a step back, and you do see blood, and you're fanning. So next shot is
another shot coming.
D16. Now flip that card.
And I do have -1 to my attacks again, so that's I get the +1 and then a -1, so it should be 14 even. And I got a 9 of hearts.
All right, 9 is just fine. 14 also hits the creature. Go ahead and roll some more damage.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. It goes down. It's a lot of damage.
Do I still get to shoot the other one before it actually goes down, just to be sure?
The question of whether or not when you start fanning a gun, whether you can change target. I'm inclined to say no, because you're trying to hold your hand steady while you flap that trigger guard there. And there was only one visible.
I mean, I wouldn't change.
Let's make a luck roll. Let's
I would
do
just
this.
want to.
I tell you what, let's make a luck roll. Go ahead and roll a D20 and try to get under your luck.
I got. I didn't get under my luck. I got an 11. My luck is 6.
Okay, what I'm going to say then is that if they were closely grouped together, I would allow it. But so far, there's only one that stepped forward, so there's no other visible. You're welcome.
Well, I mean, that's the one I wanted to keep shooting.
Yeah, if you're welcome to keep unloading into it if you want, but it is down.
It's stupid, but I wanted to see if the third shot hit before it hit the ground.
The D14 next shot, and then another card.
12 overall.
Okay, that would still hit, but let's see what the card does.
3 of hearts.
All right, you're still good. You want to keep unloading.
Oh.
It's a D12 now.
For damage?
Oh, no.
I rolled that
shot. Yeah, I mean, you're no,
I want to keep shooting. Just the 3 is what I wanted to do.
Okay. Yeah, so rapid succession shots ring out. The creature goes down. Who was next in initiative order?
That is a great question.
I think it was
I think it might be me, because I think I'm the only one who didn't lose his initiative.
Right. What did you go in at? No, you're good. You're ahead of it. I rolled really low on the initiative, so they're not going till 6. Oh, you rolled a 5, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so they go next. So out of the trees.
Oh.
Sorry. Did someone say something?
We were confirming you said they.
Yeah. Yes, they. The rest of them spring forth from out of the tree line. Several of them rush towards the body of you, the main grouping of you. I know one of you is off to the side. 3 of them just rush out of the forest line. They're moving real fast, just incredibly fast. What was it? Cool Hand, you're the one that's kind of outside of the group?
Yes.
Right. So you see this. There are 3 more of these creatures on all fours, just plowing through the snow like they're missiles guided to your friend. You do also notice that 2 more are breaking off closer to you than them, and they're headed towards you.
So there's 5 total?
There are 5 total. 2 of them are closing in on you, but they were much further away. Unfortunately, the 3 that were closer to your friends do make impact as they rush forward.
Come on, Luchador.
Might be time for me to run.
I can't even run. It ain't even my initiative. But not that I was gonna run.
So there are two of you standing and one that's on the ground, kind of just dribbling. So the two of you are standing are the higher threat. I'm going to roll a die here to see who gets the extra attack. We'll say odd goes to the luchador, even to the...
Yes.
All right, 2 on the luchador then.
Don't worry, guys. The healer is out for 8 rounds.
Don't worry. It's not like we have armor.
We have 8 hit points.
You have 8
It's
hit
like-
points. You speak for yourself.
A group of kobolds having a cleric, it's just kind of pointless.
Like, yeah, it's like...
Okay, I'm pretty sure that takes you down.
Yeah.
12 points of damage. They get you from the front and back, and like you're gored by the horns that are coming out of each side of their skeleton-like faces. So front and back, and you're lifted and thrown into the... Not necessarily dead yet, by the way. First level characters will
Negative
bleed
5.
out.
I'm at -5.
Right. You stop at 0, and at 0 you're basically bleeding out. You will bleed out for a number of rounds equal to your level before you're dead.
So
And
1.
then after you're dead, if anyone survives the meeting, they can roll your body over and you have a chance of still being alive.
Rip Luchador.
Yes,
See,
but it was a mighty exit. As you, I don't think you have to fake the pain this time, though, as your body's gored by these things. The third one, let's see if he hits. Oh, I'm sure that 19 is going to hit. 5 points of damage. Can you take 5? This would be Whitman.
Whitman is on the ground, like...
Yeah, is that going to
Jeez.
Doc? Because I'm
I'm sorry, that goes to Doc. Doc's the one still standing.
Yeah,
Can you
I
take
have
5, Doc?
5 hit points. So I'm down.
Okay. But you're at 0. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're okay.
That's exciting.
Yes, it is. All right, so it is a new round of initiative. Basically, there's only one person capable of doing something, so why don't you roll your initiative?
What are the odds of me outrunning?
Yeah, let's find out. That's a nice initiative roll, though.
I get a -1 to initiative, though, so it's an 18.
Okay, tied up then. So what do? Your friends are down, possibly dead or dying.
And I got 2 that are running right at me, and
Yeah,
3 that are...
They weren't that close to start with, so you got kind of a lead here, but what
Do
are you
I
gonna
feel
do?
like I could outrun them?
Possibly.
Like, I know they're pretty quick. If I feel like
possibly.
I could outrun them, I am ditching these fools.
All right, sounds like another chase then. I did say they were at long range, so I'm going to give you a 2-step head lead. So we'll start you at a D14 and we'll start them at a D10. Okay. You are currently uninjured.
Yes, currently.
Trying to shoot at them while you're running, or are you just flat out running?
I mean, I'll drop my rifle if it means I run faster.
No, I just want to know if you're taking pot shots or not.
No, not looking back.
All right, sounds good.
Love you guys.
Go ahead and roll a D10. Actually, no. You have a head start, so you're going to get a modifier. So you're going to roll a D12. It's a 1D modifier. And then let me see what other. You're doing a full-on run, right?
Right.
So I'll give you another D.
Another D what?
So that takes you from a D10 to a D14. So you roll a D14, they'll roll a
Is
D10.
that the one that I just rolled, or are you on a different one?
What did you roll the D14 for?
You told me to roll a D14 for the chase.
I did. Yep, that's fine. Yeah, you keep your... Okay, so you pull ahead. Yeah, it looks like you are outrunning them.
Adrenaline will do that.
So you're at a D16, they're at a D... They haven't given up the chase yet, though. You just going to keep flat out running, trying to get away?
Well, I haven't looked back to know they haven't given up the chase, so I'm
All
gonna keep
right, so
running.
you're plowing on then. So we're gonna keep going until you outrange them or they catch you. So go ahead, 14 again, D14.
Oh, 14. I thought you said it went up to 16 since I got a space.
Sure, yeah, D16.
Sorry, I'll do a D14 if you want.
That's fine, unless you want. Now let's keep that 9. Let's see how this goes. Okay, yeah, you outdistanced them yet again. You're way
I'm a natural
ahead now.
athlete.
And I'm going to say that you clear the tree line, so you're back onto flat farmland at this point. Okay, and you're pumping as fast as you can go. You're just plowing through the snow. You don't look back to find that they have actually stopped right at the tree line, and then they go back.
All right, how far away from the town am I?
Maybe a 10-minute walk. So like a 5-minute run or less.
All right, so I'm gonna go a little bit further, just like a little bit further out of the tree line, and then I'll look back to see if they're still chasing.
Okay, so you go further, and it looks like they are. You see the glowing eyes looking at you from the tree line, but they're not coming out of the tree line. So like they're watching you, but they haven't gone further.
I'll take a pot shot.
Okay, let's say long range, and they've got some cover from the trees. But go ahead, you can take the shot.
All right, so that'd be a
D20 on
-1
your D3.
for the long range and a -1 for the cover. Then is that how that works?
I'm just going to give them a higher AC.
Oh, okay.
Flip your card.
I get a
The card might
-1
still
to
work.
attack rolls too.
Sure. So you're at a 7. Go ahead and flip your card.
8 of spades.
Oh, that's a bad one. Okay, so
Ugh.
yeah, so you hear click as the gun jams on the bullet, and this is good because now we get to roll on the chart to see what happens.
Did I just kill myself?
Oh. Oh. I kind of hope so. That would be great.
Dark Trails RPG says roll fumble die modified by any hex.
You have no hexes, so it's just your fumble die for your class.
And that is a D12, so
And then
I got a
check
6.
Just check the
chart.
misfire chart.
All right, so the 6 isn't bad on the fumble chart. It would have hit a ally nearby. There are no nearby allies.
On the misfire chart
That's
or the fumble chart?
Yeah, let me see misfire chart here.
Don't want Beatty to get upset with us here.
Sorry, charts everywhere.
Charge,
No worries.
charge everywhere, charge.
It wouldn't be.
I'm fine with it because I'm the only one still alive.
Wouldn't be based off DCC if there weren't charts for all the things. So many tasty and delicious charts.
I believe that was one of the things you were saying at the end of your stream about it was that no matter how good you get at the game, it's always going to be chart reference.
Yeah. There's a lot of charts, and the charts are very fun and crunchy to get into, but it definitely, 5th edition, you can run without your book pretty easily. DCC, you need a book, or they do make a great little booklet that is just the charts. So
Yeah, which is awfully useful. I tried to print one out for this game, but I missed a bunch of stuff.
That was one of the things for Star Wars Fantasy Flight, Edge of the Empire, and stuff like that. Like, I want to play the system more so that I get used to it. But when you reference the like, okay, well, how can I spend advantage? What can I do with this threat? Like, every time someone does something, and you have to be like, let's go look at the book to see what that could be. Like, you get those moments of like lulls.
Yeah, I will say though, I played Rollmaster for years, and that's really chart heavy. But after we played it for a few months, everyone pretty much knew their charts. Like, so once you got into playing it pretty regular, it was very simple.
Yeah, that's why I want to play that system more, as I know, especially as I get more players, that have been used to it instead of just like me, a new GM, and a handful of new players. Even games like this, like eventually we'll be like, oh, a 6? That's a blank, just because I've got 6 misfires before or whatever. I'm gonna step AFK just for a second.
I can't find anything except for the firearm fumble charts. I'm not finding anything for a misfire chart, David.
Sounds like it's specific for each weapon. Or for type of weapon. Oh, he says it is firearm fumble in the chat.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. So yeah, it would have hit an ally if there was one nearby, but there was.
You see, it was tactical retreat. I didn't want to hit an ally.
Exactly. So we'll say you take a few pot shots off, but it's fairly ineffective. So some time will pass, and the person who's rolling around on the ground there finally comes out of his fugue state. Mr. Luchador. Let's see when they roll over the body if you're still alive.
Oh, that's a roll?
Yeah, it's a luck roll.
Oh, I'm not good at that. We determined that, I think, earlier. What do I got to do?
Equal to or less than your luck.
So 3 or below?
Yeah.
This is okay. Here we go. Oh, so close. So close. Never tell me the odds.
Oh.
Modifier is a -3. So do I subtract 3 from the modifier? Because then I'm a 1.
No, you don't modify your luck when you're rolling against it. But by the same course, I don't believe you can spend your luck to modify a luck roll either.
It seems legit.
Dark Trails.
One at 0 eventually comes conscious again. And when you guys do come through, unfortunately, La Chupacabra is no more. Yet he is sprawled on the snow, arms out in a majestic pose as his blood stains the snow beneath him. It seems like the young boy that was murdered beneath the luchador has been taken away.
Well, what about the other one that I took out? Actually, am I there yet, or am I still looking at the ones that are in the field?
Would you have gone back in? Because no, those eyes are still blazing at you from the wood line.
Oh, like, if I still see them, hell no, I ain't going in. No. Okay, so I don't know. I'm out of this. Okay.
So yeah, when you come to, the boy's gone, and the corpse of the one that was shot to death is also gone.
Well, I'll. God, I'm not sure what the most respectful thing to do is. Do I take the luchador mask so he can give it a proper send off later, or is it disrespectful to remove the mask? That's a question right there.
Yeah, that is a question. But he looks so majestic, sprawled out like that.
I'm not up to date on my luchador funeral rites.
And I am definitely
abs glistening in the snow.
Not dressed for digging up. Hey, Trusty Sword, thanks for that follow. But yeah, I am not dressed for digging a grave in the snow. So, man, I'm gonna take the mask, and that way we can give it a proper, respectful service later. Do I see those things still?
No, they seem to have retreated. And by the time you get back to the wood line, the ones that were watching the last living member of your party out here have retreated as well. Fortunately, you've come back with nothing to prove that Mr. Isaac didn't cause the murders. Perhaps your eyewitness testimony might help when the judge gets there.
Yeah, that's that one as bad as it possibly could have. I'll head back and see if I can find Cool Hand.
He's probably still out there, just too terrified to go into the wood lines, and maybe a bit too respectful to just leave.
Wait, I don't. I lost all my memory on that, right? I don't even know why the hell I was out there.
You don't? You have no idea why you're here.
Yeah, so I get up. Whitman is AFK for the moment, so yeah. What the hell did El Chupacabra do to... Oh man, this is bad. So yeah, I take his mask. I don't know where... Whitman's there. He could guide us back then.
Right. And we'll end the tragic trail of your group there as you go
Yeah.
back. And the only thing you can do is argue with the judge that there are things out in the wood line that are perhaps more responsible for the death of the school marm and her family.
I feel like I could have taken him.
On the positive side for your character, you don't remember the deaths that your party just caused just because, killing a young boy, killing a farmhand. You don't remember that at all.
Well, that's good. It might save me from the gallows.
He was just taking a nap. We didn't kill him.
Oh man,
This was fun. I want to play more of this.
This was good.
Yep. All right, well, let's go ahead. As I said, we'll end the adventure there, and let's just chat a little bit. Like, what did you guys who have played DCC before? What did you think about the addition of the poker deck? We didn't get to do much with boons and hexes. One of you got a hex, which would have modified your rolls until you got rid of it.
Yeah.
No boons,
But instead, I took a dirt nap.
yeah, there's that. There's that.
I really enjoyed it. Having played some DCC before, I would still definitely put out there that I am still very much new and uneducated, I guess, in DCC. I just got a little bit of experience. It was really fun. I enjoyed the flavor of it. I did enjoy the card mechanics. That was a neat way to kind of set the tone and add a little bit more spice in the chance field of it. I think the chase rules were pretty cool.
Yeah, this was my first time playing DCC as well. And I didn't really know much about DCC other than it's meant to be like old school. So I should have realized that we would die quick.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's that.
But I did enjoy it a lot.
Being the second person that's not so much as read a sentence on DCC before, I got the concept. I have heard on the internets about the funnel and zero level characters and and all that stuff, but know absolutely nothing about it. But it was not super hard to go into. Like I didn't feel completely lost. I enjoy the Zoki dice and the weirdness there. Chase scenes was big, and I like the way that things went up and down the dice tiers, if that makes sense. Like I like that as a mechanic. I've always kind of liked RPGs where like your skills were just a certain dice instead of like just a D20 plus a number. So getting more involved in using weird things like D12s is always fun for me. And then I really like the cards. I didn't get to use one myself, but any RPG that can just put a 52 card deck into its rules is always snazzy for me, especially if it's a Western themed one.
Yep, there's that. We didn't get anything from. We didn't really. Well, I guess it may not just have come up, but our Revelator. We never did get any clerical mojo going.
Well, you see, the first fight that I got in, I shit my pants.
That would be why. Yes, and it's bad when your healer goes down quick. I will say that just you guys got. In particular, your low luck rolls at character creation really hurt, because you're taking that negative roll where in the class bonus where you get the luck bonus for your class. I mean, you're taking a negative hit for most of you guys instead of getting something positive from it. So that hurt. I mean, oh my gosh, your ability rolls were some of the lowest I've seen.
Well, I mean, on 3d6, that's really, you're not going to get high. So, I mean,
Well, and then
You got to. I
also,
think you kind of have to make sure you kind of plan it for that because that's what it's going to be. Like
Yeah.
3d6 is horrible. Like most people, when they would play like old school D&D, they'd even roll like 4d6, keep the 3 best. But like when you're doing just 3 and you're going straight down the list, like it's going to be low. Like 11 is a good score. You know.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I agree. That's a very old school way of doing it. 3d6 down the line. Don't even get to swap them out.
right.
Right. You don't get to pick where your scores go. So I mean, you're just kind of left with what you got. And you're just like, I don't know how we're going to get through this. And of
Right.
course, the answer is you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was expecting low rolls. I was not expecting so many 5s. Like I was expecting a bunch of 8s and 9s. But yeah, I kind of got fuckered on 2 stats. And our gunslinger, you did really great considering the roles you had at character creation, man.
Something else that's brought up in the chat as well is, I mean, I agree. Since you're not wearing armor, most things are going to hit you. There's less missing because, I mean, your target number is a 10 for the most part. I mean, 50% chance better with bonuses that you're going to hit something. So that's something to look at is like what other things a person can do to increase their armor class. Like I really like the idea of oiling up the luchador, and that helps his armor class in melee.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In this, do you get your AC? Is it modified by your agility?
It is.
Okay.
If you were so fortunate enough to have a bonus,
Fortunate enough to have a bonus instead
and
of
not a negative.
Well, yeah, my agility was a -1, so that would have put me at a 9.
Yeah, I was at a 10 because I just didn't have a negative, but it's like that's not going to save you against anything when you're rolling d20s plus a d3 or anything like that. Like it's going to hit you. Like
Yeah.
I do think a game like a Western setting like this really suits itself better to the quick deaths than even like a old school fantasy game.
Oh yeah.
I
Life is
agree.
cheap.
Yeah. It does really give a different play style. You're not playing D&D where you can just wade into combat and just wail
Right.
on stuff,
And I think I would prefer playing DCC in a Western or modern setting rather than fantasy because of that.
I think so too. Whether it be Western or Lovecraftian or even kind of sci-fi stuff, I think any of the like quick death games, I would want to get away from the classic fantasy trope. Okay, you take a laser rifle shot to the head, you die. Like I can deal with quick and deadly sci-fi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's all true. I think you just have to be careful about what you have your party like go to do, because you have to keep things. You have to give a lot more social outlets if you're gonna have really quick death, or else you're just not gonna get very far into a story.
Yeah,
Right.
which is I was trying to give you guys some time to. I mean, we were pressed for time. This was just a one shot, and just trying to do it in a couple hours. I was trying to give you guys some time to actually gather facts and to talk to people and that sort of thing. And hard to do if you're not doing this over a campaign or more than one.
No,
day.
and we
I
kind
like
of
that myself.
We kind of aimed right at the quest because most of us were starting at 8. I mean, even the guys out on the West Coast, it was 8 o'clock at night for us. So like we knew we were getting like 4 hours out of this tops. So
Yeah, no, and it did help us test out a lot of the systems, which is even better too. That's kind of the point of this.
With that said, though,
Yeah.
I am on vacation for the rest of the month, and if you need a playtester, let me know. I will see what I can swing. We do have the new baby at the house, so I have to get permission from the missus, but I am down to playtest.
Yeah, cool. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys were okay with me as a GM. This is our Notorious DMG group, so we're doing this as experienced DMs, so that each of us can get an idea of what others do as game masters and how they run the game. So feel free to critique away at my own GM-manship as you will, either in the board.
I think this is actually the first time that you and I have got to be in a game together since right about the time that I got started in DMG. Life got crazy busy, so it was nice getting to finally meet you there.
Did you play in the Stranger Things thing, Bert?
Yeah,
I did actually. Yeah.
Okay.
But as a player,
Yeah. So yeah. No, I mean, as always, you're running Delta Green. You give a a lot to aspire to on the DMing front. So it's always a pleasure when you get to steer the ship and I get to sit and learn.
Very much so. You're an excellent DM.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was going to say also with DCC, I mean, it's like it's in the sales brochure where they say you're not a hero. Like
Right.
this isn't
Yeah.
the game about being the superhero. You're like nothing. You're like a guy scrounging just to get by.
Yeah. Reading the DCC core rulebook, I would really recommend anyone go just on the chapters about setting the tone, how well it highlights that and kind of sets the pacing for what you expect on that.
I do have a quick question about the game. Would I have leveled up?
In
I
this
mean,
one
I
adventure-
fought off 6 Wendigos.
Nice. In this one adventure, probably not. Probably not. It gets progressively harder for you to level. I think even in the core book, they say that the odds of anyone making it to 3rd level are like astronomical. Like it takes a lot of adventuring to do so. And as lethal as the system is, it doesn't happen often.
Cool.
Yeah. So it's if you guys have ever played like really early Dungeons and Dragons, like BX Basic Expert or the BECME Basic Expert Master Immortal, it took years, like literal years of playing in those games to be able to get to 3rd level, 4th level. The amount of experience you make on each kill, each gold piece, etc., is fairly low. It was all about you're not grinding for levels like you would in like an MMORPG or Pathfinder or modern D&D, right? Your tally is going to be high. You got to do a lot of stuff to get to the level. So it becomes more about just playing your character in the time, in the moment, and just over time, you're going to get better. But it's not like we play a game, next section you level. We play 2 games, next session level. It is absolutely not like that. And that it also follows like the old school mentality in this sort of game. Though I will say the fastest leveling is going from 0 to 1. It's like even in the book it says like even if you don't award enough experience to make it to 1st level, it's generally a good idea just to make everybody 1st level after their funnel.
Yeah.
Guys, I do appreciate you letting me voice this upon you and giving some testing to the system. We're still furiously editing away at it. We're trying to get it out as soon as possible to the backers so everyone can enjoy the quick start rules. The main rules themselves is going to be a beast. Page count is enormous on it. It's going to be at least as thick as the DCC core book, at least.
That is a
Well,
hefty book.
I'm a backer myself, so I'm excited to get it. And
Same.
if you want any more help running this through the ringer, Cool Hand Clyde would be happy to write again.
Very nice, very nice.
Same
We'll keep
for-
your experience points, and we'll see how long he goes. Then I will definitely be running more play tests, and I want to become more familiar myself, so I don't have to keep looking up things and pausing the action. I hate that, but that's what this was for. Was to put the ring,
Yeah, it wasn't
the rules
bad.
through the ringer.
I'm doing a lot of baby watching these days, but if nothing else, I'm a pretty decent proofreader / grammatical error catcher / typo guy. So that's my 2 pieces.
Oh, I mean, the baby just sleeps all the time, anyways, right? Like, how much is there to watch?
Yeah, you say that.
Yeah, you say that.
You would be surprised.
The person with no children says that.
All right, guys.
All right, guys, we're gonna call it a night. Thanks everybody for watching. I tried not to keep track of the Twitch stream so it wouldn't distract me from the GMing duties and getting the rules straight. But it looks like we had a fairly good following. What did we peak at there? We got 11 still watching now.
I
this
saw
was-
up to like 16
I
at
think I
one
saw
point.
18 at one point.
We hit
but
20
nice.
at one point.
Did we actually get to 20?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
There's a lot of people liking Dark
Yeah.
Trails, so
I'm gonna.
You should raid while we still got the numbers so that we don't dip our average.
I've got it queued up right here. So when you guys are ready to say goodbye, I'll hit that raid button.
Yeah, good night, guys,
Hit the
and
button.
thanks a lot for everyone watching and especially everyone playing.
Mm.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Much appreciated.
Good night, guys.